where Western Ghats, Himalayas, then the Northeastern, etc., India, all these places are very vital. Unfortunately, the required impetus has not been provided to the tourism, and it is expected that what he says is now India can diversify its focus on some of these areas like development of tourism. And finally, he suggested food processing for surplus management. In fact, fortunately, thanks to the father of Green Revolution of India, Dr. Swaminathan, India today is producing more than its requirement in food. In fact, I always mention today we do not have a ration shop, we only have a fair price shop. Now, question is, what is the difference between a ration shop and fair price shop? If some of you seniors, particularly the professors, if they are of my age or little younger than me, they would know we had a ration shop where we used to stand with our parents for buying sugar, for buying rice, wheat, then kerosene, etc. Because ration means a limited availability of resources to be distributed to the entire population. The availability was limited. India was acutely shortage of food, and therefore that was got to be distributed to a huge population. And now we do not have the ration shop. It has been converted as fair price shop because we are now producing adequately. In fact, producing more than the requirement. We are a surplus nation. But one of the tragedy of India is that the wastage in the food that we create highest in the world. Close to 30% of what we produce is said to be wasted. Now, question is how it is wasted. In fact, they say wastage of India is equal to 1 year consumption of Australia. Now, why it is wastage? Obviously, the food or the fruits, the vegetables, etc., horticulture products, they are all perishable in nature unless we have proper infrastructure of cold storage, transportation, etc. It is very difficult. And also the forward integration of processing that needs to be done, and that will call for huge investment. And that is precisely the reason Reserve Bank of India and Government of India has made 100% FDI. If India does not have money, the money can flow from elsewhere. So these are some of the measures which you said that even during the COVID, India can plan, or the business can plan to see that we can grow. Now, what will be the future of Indian economy and ultimately the future of Indian banking? Now, friends, this was the slide presented by Honorable Finance Minister in March 2020 budget. Very clearly, as you have seen here, Indian economy is the fifth largest in the world, first being, of course, US, the second China, and the third is Japan, fourth is Germany, and fifth is India. Now, it is expected that in the next 10 years, on account of various measures, in fact, they said that 6 years, but now because of COVID, it may have dragged by further 1 or 2 years. So it is expected by next 8 to 10 years, India, in fact, in the next 5 years, you can see that India overtaking Germany to be the fourth largest economy of the world. And subsequently, in the next 10 years, India is expected to be a $10 trillion economy, with the size being the third largest economy of the world. Now, why it is so? Why not only the economists of India, even the world economists, in fact, in the World Economic Forum, WEF, which is held every year in the month of January at Switzerland, they also said that the biggest advantage which India possesses is the demographic dividend. Now, this is how the distribution of Indian population. As you can see, close to 94% of India's population is below 65 years. It is assumed that people above 65 years are not consuming population because they are senior citizens. Social security is to be provided by the government, and therefore they may not predominantly a consumer, meaning that 94% of India's population is a consuming population. That is precisely the reason India is said to be a nation, or every other product or every other country would launch their product through India, because India is a major consuming nation. Now, again, the population profile between 15 to 64 years. As you are seeing, close to, in the year 2018, close to 67% of our population is in the age profile of 15 to 64. Now, what is this 15 to 64? You know, the child labor cutoff year is 14, which means 15 to 64 year is the working age. Working age also means that income generating age. Income generating age also means consumption age. So therefore, close to 67% of the people are income generating. Close to 94% of population is consuming. What else the government wants? What else the country wants? So therefore, these are the major advantages which India possesses, which can transform India to to be the manufacturing hub of the world, which can transform India to be a major economy of the world with effective measures. Now, this slide was presented by an economist in the World Economic Forum Summit last year. As you can see in this, in the early stages of demographic dividend enjoyed by a country, the growth is huge. As you have seen Japan, 1964, it had the greatest advantage because the young population was much during that period. With the aging of population, now it has lost its edge. Same is the case with Italy and many other nations. Whereas in the case of India, the age profile advantage has started for us along with various reform measures of government of India, and India is expected to enjoy this blooming period up to 2055. Yes, blooming period I say for the reason there can be upheavals up and down here and there, but on a long run, it is expected that India will continue to enjoy the economic benefit up till 2055. And in fact, one Spain economist has also remarked that going forward, India may overtake even America to be the second largest economy of the world. May not be in my time, maybe in times of our young students here. Next is now, this is a very important slide. See, with the income generating ability of the people substantially increasing, obviously it is giving way for increased income levels of the people. For example, in 2005, as you are seeing, 69% of the household were categorized under low income group. Now 2018, 69 has become 43. Now where is this difference? Where they would have gone? They would have gone to lower middle income or upper middle income. From 7% it has gone to 21%, or maybe even the high income level group. That means again from 2018 to 2030, the forecast is low income level people is only 15%, lower middle 34%. See the upper middle. There is a huge increase in the upper middle to 44%, and high income is 7%, which means with the income levels of the people substantially increasing, obviously the consumption would increase, which would push the economy. Now, when the economy is pushed and the major beneficiary is banking, let me tell you today, Indian banking is the 14th largest in the world, and it is expected when India becomes the third largest economy of the world, Indian banking also will become the third largest banking system of the world, wherein the business is expected to grow by 5 to 6 times. That is, manifold growth in Indian banking system can be seen. And the major sector which would contribute for the development of India is agriculture, micro, small, medium enterprises, retailing, and infrastructure development. In fact, agriculture, as per the words of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, he says, India can supply food to the world going forward. And going forward, he concludes his article beautifully. Going forward, India can supply food to the world, and thereby India can rule the world not with guns but with grains. This is how he articulates. And agriculture, MSME sector, infrastructure, retailing, it will have. And the main reason, you have seen the recent development of amalgamation of public sector bank. When Indian banking become the third largest banking system in the world, obviously, question is whether the Indian banking system has the capability of managing the mammoth business, which I have stated 5 to 6 times of what it is. And as a precursor to that, amalgamation of public sector bank was found to be one of the ways wherein capital enhancement will take place, ability to lend more also, and you are allowed to play in the global market. Now, this next slide is clearly says Government of India wants to have at least 5, 6 banks of global character. They play not only within the domestic market as also in the global market. What it transforms is monies are available elsewhere in the world. If Indian banking system is allowed to play in the market elsewhere in the world, obviously the monies can be brought into our country to support the economic development, and a couple of banks would only focus on the national presence like Bank of India and Central Bank of India, and to strengthen the regional focus there are few banks. This support, we have private sector banks in our country, and going forward there is a tremendous opportunities for everyone to grow. And some of the main reasons for the amalgamation of PSBs, economies of scale, that means rationalization of cost, and with the increased ability to lend, you are lending more for the development of economy. Cost would be reduced. 1+1 need not be 2. It can be 1.2, 1.3. And then the banking system will become a global player of significance. And very important is NPA management and efficiency enhancement. Various banks will have different levels of efficiencies. Obviously, the marriage would enhance. That is, 1+1 can become 11, not 2. That is what it says. And some of the measures for the future banking which RBI has made is that focus on the, yes, opportunities are plenty, growth is bound to happen, Indian banking system is bound to become the third largest in the world, but nonetheless, there is no scope or there shall not be a place for complacency for Indian banking. And therefore, Reserve Bank of India has said that, RBI governor has said that some of the measures which bank can take is focus on sunrise sectors. Yeah, monies are available. You ensure that monies are channelized for the sectors which have huge growth potentials. Focus on unexplored sector like rural sector, semi-urban sector, expand your banking horizon. And very importantly, risk. When we are operating in an international or a global environment, the risk is global. Therefore, you need to build in proper risk management system or proper architecture to see that we run safely the business opportunity. And the third one is able governance. In fact, now recently you may be aware, in most of the banks, the position of chairman and MDs have been bifurcated, wherein the governance structure is changed, and government also introduced what is known as fit and proper criteria, and also various measures have been stated or have been taken by government and Reserve Bank of India to see that governance is correct, and then a robust internal control. See, lot of frauds, lot of things are happening. So growth is not mere growth unless it is qualitative growth. So therefore, the whole focus is to build quality growth in the banking system. And technology, of course, technology will have to be leveraged for the maximum benefit of banking. Already banks have gone aggressively on technology, like artificial intelligence have been brought in, wherein this through artificial intelligence, the projection as to whether something would go bad, something would run well, etc., etc. So this is what it is proposed to be used. And then uh, through technology, then particularly the operational risk or the cyber frauds. One of the major concern for the banking system is the cyber fraud. So that will have to be done. And very importantly, compliance culture. Though compliance culture is there, but it is in a very infant stage. So RBI is very specific that each bank will have to, whether it is public or private sector bank, will have to have a proper compliance structure with responsibilities and accountabilities to see that what a bank does is strictly adhering to the laid down norms and guidelines. And in conclusion, let me tell you, Indian banking has seen, as I was mentioning, it has seen the First World War, it has seen the Second World War, it has seen the pre-independence era, and it has seen the post-independence era, the pre-economic reforms era, and the post-economic reforms era, as also the Great Depression of 1930. With the turn of each of these events at different points in time during the last 100 plus years, Indian banking remained or became much more stronger than what it was earlier. So therefore, this pandemic is also one of the phases of Indian economic system as also the banking system. And I'm very sure with the measures taken by government and Reserve Bank of India, as also the measures that are being taken by the respective banks, this also will pass through successfully and march ahead to take India and Indian banking system as one of the topmost in the world. Thank you very much. This is what I just wanted to share with you. I'm sorry if I have taken a little more time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, can I open the session for Q&A for at least few seconds?
There are some 2 questions in the chat. I think probably we can just.
Yeah. Professor, sir, there is a question in the chat which was asked by principal.
You can quickly answer that because.
What is your opinion about corporates coming into banking sector? Is it good or bad? There is
no, it is only an internal working group. Reserve Bank of India governor has made it very, very clear that only an internal working group has suggested whether corporates can set up banking, already opposed by great economists like Dr. Raghuram Rajan and then Viral Acharya. They have said that it may not be good. The reason is we go back to the pre-1969 era where the business houses manage the banking, the resources are only channelized to them. So maybe if at all it is to be brought with certain restrictions, with certain impositions, like they may say how much can be given to the related party, etc., etc. But this is my answer to that.
There is another question, sir, going ahead. Have payment banks eaten up on the market share of regular bank?
No, not at all. In fact, they are complementing. A regular bank has its own business model. So it is again payment banks. All these are various options provided to the consumers to ensure that they utilize the financial services most effectively. So it is only complementing and definitely not a substitute for banking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for answer.
Yeah. Yeah, before I conclude, I am highly grateful to Dr. Narendra and Madam Nirmala for giving me an opportunity. I do not know because I am not from pure academics. I am not that qualified to be among such galaxy of speakers. But then Madam Nirmala has made it, given me an opportunity. Thank you very much and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
It was very, very wonderful information that you have shared with us. So you are one among the eminent speakers, sir. So,
sir, you are a speaker and you are into academia. You are being a principal.
Yes,
so
yes,
it doesn't matter, sir. You are part of it, and then you have presented the things very
practical exposure you have given to us, sir.
No, I have seen Madam Nirmala in various fora, how she speaks, the knowledge she possesses on the academia, huge. I only have some practical experience, that's all.
On grounds of concluding, I would take this opportunity. Professor K.L.S.N. Rao had presented the complete scenario from pre-nationalization to the present day situation, throwing lights on various aspects and giving even also other than the growth in the banking sector, he has also given an insight to the growth in the economy and also possible opportunities ahead going. So, sir, on behalf of Bangalore University and behalf of team of Department of Commerce, Bangalore University, and behalf of participants on my personal behalf, I do thank you, sir. I would really like to say no power on the earth can stop an idea whose time has come. So the time of India has come, as you have told by these words of Professor
Manmohan Singh.
Dr. Manmohan Singh would always stand good even today.
Hugo Vector.
Yeah, sir. we will the whole economy and the participants here would take it ahead further. In the student community who are part of it would admire these words of his great wisdom. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, thank you for giving me an opportunity to chair the session. Thank
Anyway,
you.
I thank both of you for accepting this invitation and sharing wonderful knowledge and connecting of the session. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
I beg the pardon for the next speaker. We have taken few
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Ma'am,
6 minutes we are late.
yeah. Thank you.
Madam
Sorry,
is
ma'am.
already
Please
there
pardon,
in.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
So
I
you
saw.
can continue, sir. You can just KLS and Rao, sir. You can continue. Dr. Narendra, you can continue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Madam,
madam.
good afternoon, madam. Divya, madam.
Good afternoon.
Madam, thank you. I have some personal work. Thank you very much. I will
Yes,
tell
sir.
you tomorrow what my personal. Thank you, madam.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. So Dr. Satya Prasad is there. Sir, good afternoon, sir, and welcome.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
So you're able to
Good
hear, sir?
afternoon. I am very much there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Welcome, sir, for the program and for the session.
Yeah, I'm joining with my Pawan's, my son's tab. My mobile I will switch off.
Okay, sir.
Come through the tab.
Okay, fine, sir.
Yeah.
Divya, madam, we have given you a host, madam.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah. So you can share the screen also, madam.
Good afternoon, Dr. Nirmala.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Sindhu, go ahead.
I welcome for the third session of today's program. A good marketing makes the company look smart. Great marketing makes the customers feel smart. Now we have Ms. Divya Purnaya, Marketing Consultant, Director, Brand Update, to speak on digital marketing. I request Chairperson of the session, Dr. B.G. Satyaprasad Sir, Director, GT Group of Institutions, to introduce the speaker. Over to you, sir.
Sir, you can start, sir.
He's on mute, I think.
He's on mute. Huh? Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Disconnect. Satya Prasad, sir.
To do that.
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Sir, now you can
Yeah.
speak, sir.
Oh, again, he's muted.
Pavan, sir. Pavan.
Pavan, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you can unmute, sir.
Sir, you can unmute, sir. Pavan.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to sincerely express my gratitude and thanks to Department of Commerce and Dr. Nirmala for having invited us and also allowing me to chair a session where a galaxy of speakers spoke wonderful academic intellectual input for the past 3 days to all of us. I, on behalf of myself and on behalf of the entire commerce fraternity, I extend a red carpet welcome to Divya Madam also. Divya Madam's topic today, she has been assigned to talk on digital marketing. In this vibrant topic, Madam Divya has almost have more than two and a half decades of her experience both in the academic as well as in the professional life. It is my pleasure to present Divya Madam to the August gathering by presenting a detailed biodata to resume to all of you. Madam has got 20 years of experience in creating the brand and achieving their own market goals in different areas of digital marketing. She is a skill set person for digital marketing strategy and branding and content development, the data analyst, team leader, and teacher, trainer, and designer for brand creating. From 2013 to 20, she was the founder director for Brand Update, carving the digital strategy for brands. Brand Update has been responsible for the digital transformation for almost 40 brands across the product categories of retail, FMCG, e-learning, consumer durables, B2B, food, events, agriculture, and web-based services. The role she has played includes strategy, design, social media marketing, search engine optimization, web app development, content generation, and data analytics. Madam's team closely worked for brand understanding and its requirement of executing the same, monitoring, mentoring, and analyzing the successes. Madam has also got wonderful experience in the teaching line. She has been associated with the Mount Carmel College for the past almost 17 years. She was a teacher in the visiting faculty capacity, and she has developed the curriculum. She was the mentor. She was also an instrumental in developing the retail management at Mount Carmel College, Institute of Management Studies, developed the course structure, conducted the workshops, university conclaves, and entrepreneurial developmental assistance also Madam has given. Digital marketing employees of large corporations also she held for various discussions and strategies. Conducted seminar for both within the college and other prestigious universities in the country and abroad. From 2016 to 20, she was in the core team of member and mentor of SWAYAM, a unit of FICCI, ladies organization that aims to scale up women entrepreneurship businesses in India. From 2003 to 2013, Director Marketing Principal Access System Private Limited, a mobile and web app development firm which developed the cutting-edge apps. From 2000 to 2003, Business Development at Polaris Software Lab transformed from a pre-sale consultant for a European Union to a business development manager working in Frankfurt, setting up the building Polaris European operations. Education, a BSc Maths graduate, switched over to the field of management, and from management to the marketing, and marketing to the digital marketing, and from the digital marketing to the branding, and from branding to the teacher, and teacher to the course curriculum developer. Wonderful personality we have today, versatile personality from maths to marketing, marketing to digital strategies and branding, and a teacher. A real academic bridge. The gap between industry and academia can be reduced if more number of Divya Madams type of people enter into the academic line and make academic learning a beautiful and wonderful. Over to you for Divya Madam. Later, I would like to take over after your talk, and you can comfortably feel free to enrich your knowledge all through our more than 97 participants as of today. They are listening to you, Madam. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very, very, very honored to be speaking here today. Thank you so much for chairing, agreeing to chair today's session. I'd like to first of all thank and congratulate Bangalore University. In these kind of times, the easiest thing would be to postpone the yearly conference, but to actually maximize the potential of this, I've been signing into all the sessions across the 2 days and fabulous lineup of speakers. Thank my chair again for a very, very generous introduction. I'd like to also acknowledge and thank my mentor, Dr. Ramesh. He was the one who apparently suggested my name for today's session as well. I hope I do him proud. Let's quickly get on to just quickly just like to check with the chair. So I'd like to take about a half an hour to 40 minutes to go through the presentation itself. And then we can open it
madam.
for some discussion, so that we'll be done by 3 o'clock as per the schedule that the university has given. Is that okay, sir?
Yeah, that is okay.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much. Then I'll try and keep an thing to that. First of all, a very warm welcome to all of you who've signed in to listen to me today. One thing that I've always noticed across all the sessions for the last couple of days is every single person, speaker, no matter what the topic, and it's been a nice diverse portfolio of topics, whether it was about social entrepreneurship, or whether it's been about banking sector, or whether it's been about agro sector. The only common thread that I've seen across everybody is, of course, digital marketing and the role that digital marketing is playing. So I think I can very safely say that everybody in this room agrees that this is a very important and relevant topic today. Let's quickly go back and say again, because this is a science fiction congress. If you all look at your earliest memories of watching science fiction movies or reading science fiction books, I think we had this vision of somebody speaking into their watch, or probably walking into a room and then saying, I want this, and then speaking with digital devices. And all of that actually comes together to give you as a consumer a complete expert. And this is what we thought when we were in our teens, that this is what would be the future, maybe in 2050, 2070. Surprisingly, most of that is already true because of digital marketing in 2020. You can talk to your watch, you can place orders for products on your Alexa or Google device. You can actually look through social media, you can connect with people, and you can connect with brands. You have, as a consumer, I think in today's day and age, we're a lot more empowered. We're a lot more, we have a lot more in our hands. Quickly, again, just as a show of hands, I think most of you are very comfortable. I think we've all been in pandemic zone for the last 6 months. So most of us are, I'm quite sure, comfortable with this. I'm going to quickly ask for a quick show of hands. You have this reactions button in this. I'd like all of you all, if you have, through the course of the day, I know you've all been in the conference from about 10 o'clock this morning. Through the course of the day, how many of you all have either checked Facebook or your email or any of your digital devices in the last 4 hours, 5 hours? Can you all just raise your hands, or in the emoticons that you have? Nice. So I can see a lot of people raising their hands. So what does this actually mean for a digital marketer? It means that while in previous days, we had to wait to get the consumer's attention, today in a digital marketing era, we have the consumers at our hands access. Literally, if you look at most people, especially gentlemen, they put their phones in their pockets, which means that your brand is in every pocket, every 24 hours of the day. I think people today, nowadays, I think most of you will realize that you wake up in the morning and you probably check your phone first to see if some earth-shattering event has happened, even before you brush your teeth or wash your face. And that is when your brand starts connecting with you. Your brand has access to you, to so much of information about you through the day. Let's quickly start thinking about, why is it important today for me to talk about digital marketing, and why is it so relevant? Just a second, yes. Right. So, I'm sorry. Right. So just to start off with one really impressive number, 696.77 million. Half of India's population is an active user of the internet in India. For a country that they expected that we would reach 50% much later, we've been able to reach these impressive figures. 290 million users on Facebook, which is a social media platform, which takes a lot more, which means that I'm not just on the digital platform, I'm also connecting with people who are my peer group, which is the largest across the world. I think it's more than the population of most countries that we know. It's increasing e-commerce penetration, especially in the last 9 months. We've seen that the number of people who've started shopping online has really increased. I couldn't put the figures in because I had multiple data points from various sources, so I have left that blank. But we all understand that I think most of us have taken some e-commerce steps, and we've seen that with each shopping experience, you end up shopping more online and getting more comfortable with e-wallets, getting more comfortable with getting products delivered at home. Then, of course, the steepest growth of adaptation of the internet from just 4% in 2007 to 50% in 2020. In a period of just about 13 years, I don't think any other technology or anything else has had such a large level of adaptation. And about 760 million people who are going to be on smartphones by next year. Again, now the obvious question is, why is this happened? Why has there been such a rapid increase? I think even our previous speaker was talking about how India is relevant in the entire global scenario, mainly because of its large youth population. I'm sure most of the students here will agree that for them, social media, digital marketing just comes to them very intuitively, and they are able to adapt to the latest in technology a lot faster. So the large youth population has been a big accelerator in terms of this. The second one is, of course, it's because of the fact that if you've traveled across the world, you will realize that the rates at which internet accessibility is available in India is far cheaper than you would find in most other countries in the world. Even developed countries don't offer it as cheap. So which is why, while even 2 years back, we saw that there was a huge disparity in terms of the urban versus the rural penetration, that gap is actually reducing in the last couple of years. It's, I think, only about 10 or 15% difference now in terms of the number of, the percentage of penetration in the urban versus the rural in terms of internet accessibility. We definitely need to thank the government policies. They've made it very friendly to make internet service providers provide access to their services for a very large percentage of the population. The low role, of course, of internet service providers, large corporates, and even NGOs who've probably taken the internet to a large number of areas because of XYZ reasons, but are now a big boon to digital marketers who know that we now have access to people across the country. And the last one, I think, is the biggest bull in the China shop, the lockdown and the social distancing protocols, which meant that people are online, they're watching a lot, they're consuming a lot more digital content, they're watching internet, the movies, they're watching the Prime and Netflix and YouTube, and because of which there is so many more touch points for a brand to connect with a consumer. We've also seen that the actual number of people who've shopped have gone up because of social distancing protocols, which means a lot of retail outlets were forced to redefine the way they did their business before this, which meant that we had even simple things. I think a lot of you might have experienced this. You would have had scenarios where you set up a WhatsApp video call, probably. You were experiencing the brand, the products through the retail outlets, placing an online order, getting the product delivered to your home, which meant that today, increasingly, brands are realizing that the brand power is much larger than even the touch and feel, which was supposed to be one of the pillars of retail that existed even till about 3 or 4 years back. So quickly, just to compare between what is the difference between what we call traditional marketing and digital marketing? Just to clarify, I do understand that even every aspect of traditional marketing has been manipulated or has been enhanced by the use of technology. However, that doesn't fall under the purview of digital marketing. So quickly, just going to start with this. So can we convince our target customers through traditional marketing? Of course. And of course, also with digital marketing. Do the traditional marketing rest on the 4 P's of marketing? Yes. And of course, even for digital marketing. So does the traditional marketing allow you to a lot of flexibility in terms of pricing and promotional strategies based on who your target customer is? For traditional marketing, it's only moderate, which means that you can do things at a store level or at a specific geography, but it's very difficult to customize it to every single individual. But in digital marketing, even that is possible. Access to analytics in traditional marketing, it is minimal, which meant that we had to deal with analytics that was given to us either through secondary data or through primary data, which we had to do for specific samples, um, and then extrapolate for the entire population. While in digital marketing, you have 100% access to analytics all the time. So you know who's looking at your ad, you're looking at who's buying your product. The amount of information that me as a digital marketer has about each consumer is far superior to what traditional marketers would ever have. The ability to understand consumers in detail, again, it is minimal in traditional marketing, while here it is complete, which means that, like I said before, I know all the demographic, geographic, psychographic profile of each and every consumer that I have. 360 degrees consumer experience in a short time span. It takes a medium to long term, which means that from when the brand is first introduced to a product, to a consumer, to the time that the consumer actually becomes a loyal customer, it would usually take a medium to a long term. Even if it's something as simple as, assume you're watching a advertisement on a television. By the time you decide, okay, next time I go to a shop, I'm going to purchase the product, that itself will make it a medium term purchase. While if you're looking at a digital marketer, today you see an ad in about less than a few minutes. You can actually have, if it's an e-product especially, you can actually be consuming the product in that short period of time. Even in terms of physical products, we've realized that it, in probably a matter of a day or two, if their logistic systems are efficient, you will be able to experience the product, which means that you've taken a consumer from being somebody who was unaware about your product to being a loyal customer in an extremely short period. And you can also take that consumer engagement to a longer period of time. User generated content, which means that today, if you were a brand, if you were a loyal consumer for a brand and you had to say that I am enjoying this product, there was very little bit of that was actually used in the brand story itself. While today, if you see, it's probably the reverse, which means every single social media site and every single e-commerce site tries to maximize on how do I get my users' content amplified, because obviously, like we all know, another consumer trusts peers review more than they trust the brand's review. Entry barriers were very, very high, which meant that if you were a startup and you wanted to get into the big bad world of traditional marketing, it meant very high costs, whether it was in terms of distribution, whether it was in terms of technology support, whether it was in terms of the amount of inventory that you needed to produce, whether it was in terms of how do you get your products to the target consumer. All of this were very high entry barriers for traditional marketing, while in digital marketing, all of these, the entry barriers are extremely low. Brands are actually using digital marketing very effectively, even to test new products. They're able to, at a very short span of time, test their products, reinvent themselves, and go back to the market, which is again a very big strength of digital marketing, which means digital marketing is also a great encourager for entrepreneurs. And the last one is customer response systems, which means how do I deal with problems? Today, I think if any of us have ever had a day where Airtel has not given us full complete the network has been bad, or if you've had a bad experience with a particular e-commerce site, we've realized that if you go and tweet about it, you'll get a call from the head office in a very, very short period of time. And that is, according to me, true consumer empowerment happens because of digital marketing. I'm going to move on to the next slide. If at any point of time, if you all have any comments, not just questions, I know that all of us are in this journey together. We've all had experiences as consumers. We've all had experiences with digital. Please do keep typing in your comments in the thing, and I'm sure that we can discuss some of this in a little while. Again, coming back to what constitutes digital marketing. Specifically, of course, content. Content is king when it comes to digital marketing. Brand generated content, which is content that a brand and an agency sit and talk about and say that this is what I want to talk about my brand. So which would traditionally be what you would see on packaging, what you would see on retail outlets, what you would see in traditional methods of advertising. Today, all of that would fall under the purview of brand generated content, which is available on the websites, on e-commerce websites and on social media platforms. I don't need to give you all examples for it. I'm sure everybody in this audience knows, but quickly just to say, e-commerce websites are things like your Amazon and Flipkart. Social media platforms are basically your Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and websites are basically the URLs where the companies themselves have their products, sometimes also selling the products and just specific to that particular web company. Third party generated content is basically content that is generated by people, which we would in traditional senses, in traditional marketing terms, call our entire PR exercise or public relations exercise would be your news agencies, your blogs, your celebrities. And the last, of course, which is what I think is the biggest differentiator for digital marketing, which is user generated content, which is social media platforms, reviews on products, both online and both on social media platforms as well as on. So I'm sure you would have all realized that every time you go to purchase a product on Amazon, one of the first things that we see, especially if it's a brand that we're not familiar with, is go down and see how many people have reviewed it and what is the kind of reviews that they've given to the product. And that is all what is user generated content. So which means today, if I have come to a particular product, I've experienced it. So it could be even something as simple as I've come to a Darshini that is opposite Bangalore University and I've had a cup of coffee there. If I put it on my Twitter handle saying that this is one of the best coffees that I've had, and if enough people do that, people would actually walk out of the Bangalore University to taste that particular cup of coffee. And that is the power of user generated content on digital marketing, of course. Apart from that, of course, we've got a list of some of the devices on which these are available. So like I said before, mobile phones are probably the closest because it's, I think I read a research paper a couple of days back that there was a list of products and people were asked, what were the things that you will not leave with home without? And there are, I think mobile phones actually top that list, which meant that if you forget your mobile phone at home, the number of people who would actually turn around to go back and pick up that mobile phone was close to 100%, which is surprising even to people like us who, of course, rely on our mobile phones for everything. Computers, of course, kiosks, I'm sure you all would have seen, usually at public places, maybe at airports, maybe at malls. Kiosks sell you products, kiosks provide you information. Internet of Things is a big thing in digital marketing again. So IoT devices and the Internet of Things devices help digital marketers reach the consumers in a multiple other ways. So in the Internet of Things, again, I'm sure a lot of you already realize this. Otherwise, we can also discuss that during the Q&A session. In the Internet of Things, what it basically means is there is a certain amount of automation that provides consumers better experiences. So it could be a refrigerator that is kind of telling the brand that is supplying milk to that household that these people are low on milk, or it could be a product that needs self-cleaning, and it could be your water purifier that needs self-cleaning, and it actually, instead of telling you the consumer, it directly links up to the brand itself and says something is wrong with her device, and I think it's time for you to call her and come and do your service visit. So these kind of devices which have technology integrated into them to give consumers a seamless experience with the brand itself. Scanners and other sales assisters, I think a lot of us would have seen the video. Otherwise, I'm happy to email it to those of you who've not seen it, of the case where a person walks into the Amazon physical store and just keeps clicking pictures and from their mobile phone, and all the products there automatically get scanned and automatically get shipped to their address, and the payment also automatically happens through your mobile wallet. And then, of course, apart from that, what constitutes digital marketing is things like social media marketing, search engine marketing, e-commerce marketing, mobile marketing, direct marketing, both through via email and SMS, online advertising, online customer relationship marketing, and the impact of technology on traditional marketing. Again, I'm not sure what the level of understanding of each of this is. So I'm sure if you want me to discuss any of this in detail, I will have a little bit of a buffer of time to go back and only discuss those aspects that you think will make for an interesting discussion towards the second part of this, this particular presentation. Right? I'm going to quickly run to say what are the trends that we are seeing in both short term and in the distant future. Performance marketing is the biggest thing. One thing that brands are loving about digital marketing is you're actually, for the first time, I think in history, able to very directly link ROI to marketing expenses. So far, we've seen that, okay, I advertise for 1 month and I'm seeing that there is a resulting increase in, huge increase in sales in the future. Therefore, I can, as a researcher, or I can, as a brand, say that the investment of this has resulted in that. However, it has not been direct till today. While in digital marketing, with performance marketing, we're actually able to directly say, where did each amount, each business come from? Where did I spend money and where am I getting the best value for my money? The second one is artificial intelligence. In every single thing, I think technology is predicting what I want. Technology, so it could be from something as simple as it's trying to say, last month she purchased a kilo of rice and she lasted for 25 days. And then on the 26th day, she purchased the rice again. And therefore starting to predict this. So I think most of the women here will agree that almost all subscriptions that we get for sanitary napkins realize that this is a 28-day cycle, or people who have purchased automobiles know that there is an artificial intelligence that is set up with when we are likely to purchase our next vehicle, when we are likely to require some serious service and maintenance, and all of that is built into the whole thing in such a way that we are able to, as a consumer, experience the product hassle-free. So before I realize that I'm having an issue with my car, if artificial intelligence is able to tell me there is a problem with this particular feature and we need to get this tested out. The next one is voice activation. Again, like I started with my presentation with, when we walk into a room and we tell Alexa, or we tell Google, can you help me with this particular problem? And when we are seeing that these things are getting, so even today, it's something as simple as opening up Amazon and then opening with just the mic button, able to tell them, this is what I'm looking for and this is what I want. You start treating your devices as virtual assistants, and therefore your intimacy with this entire device increases. Automized advertising, which means, again, the older consumer, the older marketer had to spend many hours looking at advertising reports to kind of figure out what works. Those of you who've experienced digital advertising will realize that I can actually do an alpha beta testing on Facebook or on Google in real time. And then I can also instruct the technology. Using technology, I can also instruct the platform to say, in case I'm getting at least 100 sales out of this particular advertisement, increase the budget to 1,000 rupees or to 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. So everything is automated in such a way that the amount of human interaction is reducing, because the system itself has become more intelligent at understanding how human beings are reacting to specific advertising. More sophisticated customer care. I think we've all experienced chatbots. You walk into you go to a website and the chatbot knows exactly what are the kind of questions that you're going to have. It's a glorified FAQ, but because of the fact that it's able to interact with your responses, as a consumer, you're thrilled, because I think even 3-4 years back, for customer care, you had to call a number, they would put you on hold, and it would frustrate you that as a consumer, you're not being treated right. And today, the chatbots are able to treat you with perfect, with very sophisticated customer care, where the consumer really feels like he or she is king. Conversational marketing, which is basically the technology is also able to go one step further and say, I think you haven't taken a vacation in a very long time. Is there any reason you aren't? So then you reply saying, yes, I'm scared of COVID. So then they say, okay, if, and the technology has given the marketers the flexibility to also say, okay, so if she says it's because of COVID, give this as your next statement. And if she says, no, it's because it's of, I've lost my job recently, then give this. So what is happening is your technology devices are now becoming better than even the best salespeople, because even when sales training, you can't give them so many different instructions so that you can give them in conversational marketing tools. Personalization, I think at the very simplest, it is when you get a mess, when you get up and you say, good morning, Divya, and all your devices talk to you specifically, you already feel this brand cares about me. But it's going to the next level. It's actually looking at you as an individual and starting to predict. I think in the mornings, she is in the mood for news. I think in the afternoon, she's in the mood for conferences like this. And think in the evenings, she's probably listening to old Hindi film songs. And because of which they're also giving me content and advertisements that are very personalized to me as an individual. And again, as a consumer, it's the best way to make sure that I connect with the brand at a very deep emotional level. Many e-commerce sites on each platform. Initially, brands used social media, used other third-party blogs to actually push all traffic towards the commerce sites, towards your own website. Today, digital marketing is making shopping so simple that just about every marketing channel is also a sales channel. Again, something that you would have realized that on WhatsApp, you can immediately put out your credit card details and then buy the product. On Facebook, you can do that. On Instagram, you can do it. Obviously, on all e-commerce sites, you can do it too. So the mini e-commerce sites on each platform is, I think, one of the big game changers. And the increased use of location and lens. So again, lens is a feature that uses your camera lens to identify a lot of things around you. I think what we've already seen, very early days of this is where people are actually photographing, saying that my friend is wearing these shoes and I would like something similar. Can you recommend it to me? And therefore interacting with physical features in your mobile phone or in your laptop to be able to get a better experience. And the last one is, of course, more use of users, which means we are also realizing in digital marketing a big part of what is expected in both the short term as well as the long term future is you're going to see a large ripple effect, which means every time I get a consumer, I start thinking about how do I monetize this consumer into getting so many more consumers for me. I'm just going quickly. For every hero in every story so far, it's all been the glossy picture, and I'm going to quickly go through what are some of the disadvantages. There are very low regulations. So I think that's something a lot of us have been realizing, and I think there is a lot, even the censor board have been kind of trying to chase some of the digital marketing advertisements. There are far lower regulations. They're trying to put in more systems in place, and as of now, they are doing a good job. But it's more, the larger brands always fall under the radar, and the smaller brands kind of find loopholes. The privacy of customers, this is something which is very often debated. Most of, like how I told you that in digital marketing, I can see everything about my consumer. As a consumer, you sometimes don't want all that information out there. It's intrusive. I'm sure all of you have cursed brands who've in the middle of a very important email where there is a pop-up that says, this is what you have to do in the middle of your movie, just before your climax scene, you will see an advertisement that comes in. So sometimes some of the advertisements, some of the brand relations with you have been intrusive. There have been cases of data leaks. We have seen an increased rise of hackers, and of course the increased propensity to consume, which means because it's online, because it's a very short period of time, there is a lot of impulse shopping that happens, which means people are saving less and less money. And that's definitely not a great long-term strategy for especially the youth of the country. And social pressures, which is basically I need to look good on Instagram because of everybody else. Everybody else has gone on a holiday to this exotic place, so I need to go. So that kind of a insecurity that digital marketing creates in you is also one of the bigger problems. The way forward, of course, digital marketing is here to say taming the wild beast will help all stakeholders, digital marketing platforms, brands, society at large, government, and most importantly, you, the consumer. With that, I think I'm going to stop my slide share. I was hoping to see a lot of questions here, and if there is anything else, I'm going to hand over to the chair of the session, as well as very, very happy to take any questions. I just noticed that a lot of my students are here as well, and a warm welcome to all of you girls. But yes, anything else at all, I'd be very happy to. Please don't make Dr. Nirmala scream at me, because I've left the last 15 minutes for discussion. And if none of you have questions or discussion points, so it doesn't even have to be a question. I'm sure that especially the youngsters in today's audience are bigger experts at everything that's digital. We as a generation have to be taught how to use digital. You as a generation, I think intuitively you can get most of it. So I'm very happy to discuss anything that you would like to within it. Over to the chair and to anybody who has any questions, please.
Thank you very much, Divya madam. You have greatly covered all the traditional marketing to the digital marketing. And in your speech of almost 45 minutes, you have touched upon internet marketing, social media, segmented marketing, target marketing, content marketing, the impact of social media, e-commerce aspects, technological influence, artificial intelligence, and chatbots, Internet of Things. And you have also touched the financial part of it, linking the expenses to the ROI to the expenses. Conversational marketing also you have touched, and you have also touched the personalized advertising and sale of the product, sale of the services, and most importantly, demerits of the digital marketing also you have highlighted.
Thank you so much.
So that is the reason why in the initial remarks from the industry, you are coming to the academia. There will be a perfect match between industry and academia blend in the classroom. So here demerits also you have touched privacy of the consumers, data leakage, hackers, insecurity, and whatnot. It was a lovely experience of listening to you for more than 35 minutes. And I keep the platform to the audience to have interaction with Divya madam. Over to Divya to provide an opportunity for madam to have an interaction. Another 10 minutes time is there. Our session will come to an end by 3 o'clock. We will utilize another 10 minutes more effectively. Nirmala madam, ask your colleague to have a question answer session if any.
No, chat box, no questions are there. I mean, what about the participants? If anybody wants to ask questions, kindly go ahead. Madam will interact. Any questions from the participants? You can write in the chat box also.
Right. So I expected this might happen, because always this 2 to 3 slot, you have to be a little careful, because people might be, especially in the Zoom, I'm sure a lot of them are probably catching a small nap after signing into the thing. So
no, ma'am. The problem is from 2 days, it is packed, jam-packed.
I know it is.
So
Yeah,
the session. So you know what, students, their data.
Of course, I bet. And I keep saying that you all have had so many different subjects on so many interesting topics over the last 2 days that every single
Madam Cynthia madam is having some questions. Over to Cynthia madam to ask. Good morning.
Hi Divya, I'm Cynthia.
Hi Cynthia madam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Divya, see, we have all been very aware about digital marketing, its importance and all. How is it different after COVID? Since you're a practitioner, I'm asking, practically, how do you think is different?
So if you've actually noticed, today consumers are not going out of the house, which meant that all the branding, so even if you were probably on a Saturday afternoon, if you were going to a mall before, what is it that you're doing today on a Saturday afternoon? You're saying, I want to stay safe. So I'm going to sit at home. I'm going to open Netflix. I'm going to open Prime Video. I'm going to open some thing and I'm going to watch a movie at home. So what already happens is that the marketer is realizing that earlier, if only about 20% of the marketing budget, so 20% was for developed countries. For India, it was lower than 10% of their entire marketing budget was kept aside for digital marketing. Today, they are seeing that the numbers are not yet out because it's still in December, but brands are already, the gut feel is that most brands are spending about 40 to 50% of their marketing expense only on digital platforms because consumers are within their house. And even if you notice, it's if you look at the data that digital television brands have released, you've seen that even the consumption of regular television channels have gone down and people are moving to OTT or original content that is available on the apps, which means even your YouTube advertisement falls under the purview of digital marketing. So almost a large portion of that has gone. The second part is, again, because digital marketing also constitutes e-commerce. If you as a brand, as a consumer, are not happy to go to the retail outlet, digital marketing has the power to bring the retail outlet to you, to your house, to your mobile phone, to your laptop, and create an experience in such a way that you as a consumer continue shopping, right? Across the board and across product categories, whether it's a packet of milk to a refrigerator or to a car, people are today saying, I don't want to go to the retail outlet, and therefore they're moving to digital, they are responding to digital marketing to even complete the purchase. So earlier what we would see is digital marketing's objective would be, let me bring the consumer to the shop. Today, digital marketing doesn't need to bring them to the shop. They're trying to complete the purchase there. So which is why I was also talking about ROI, that today as a brand, you are coming to me and saying that I want to spend 500 rupees on an advertising and I want to get 5,000 rupees out of it. You're seeing it. The minute you're seeing that happens, you're saying, okay, now I'll put 5 lakhs and now you make that 50 lakhs, right? So, and that keeps happening. So you're seeing that brands are putting little drops of money in and seeing the conversion, and because of which they're willing to put more and more money back into the system. Which is why from March to today, even if you look at all of us here in this room as a consumer, you will realize that we have now, every time we open phones, we see that, or your laptop or your anything, you see the number of advertisements that are reaching you are also higher. And you will notice that a lot of it is becoming sharper also. Very rarely, for example, it's a small example. If you have a teenage daughter, she will not see advertisements for saris. If you open yours, you will see advertisements for saris. So digital marketing has that, while if it was on a regular television show before, both of you are sitting and watching a movie on a Saturday afternoon, you would both see the sari ad, you would both see the jeans ad. So which is a lot of wastage from the marketer's point of view. When you're not going to wear a particular product, why do you want to show it to them? So today it's become so personalized, the entire digital marketing part, especially in the days of COVID. Most brands are saying that they're D2C business, that is a direct to consumer, where people are shopping online and it's coming directly to the consumer. It's actually increased, and it's increased to like 30-40%, while before it was about 17 or 12 or 17%. It's gone to about 30-40%. And why this is important is simply because they are able to save a lot of money, and that money they're able to pass on to the end consumer. And that is again something that's essential in today's economic scenario. Right? Thank you so much.
Madam, one more participant has asked another question. Whether the brand loyalty is going to die in the future.
Right.
This is a question one participant has
yes,
put in the chat box.
Right. Thank you so much, Roshni. Very interesting question. And for me, I think it depends on the value that the brand gives to the consumer. So digital marketing is not essentially or psychologically so different from regular marketing. Even in traditional marketing, we've had brands that we have a very high connect to, and we've had brands that we've had a very low connect to. If you look at, and I think the same kind of replicates itself. Initially, brands, people had assumed or predicted that in India, it would be a price game, that people would always purchase the cheapest products. Today, there is enough and more research that proves to the contrary, to the extent that when you find a very expensive, say you find a mixie at 200 rupees, across all of us, I think we'll say if it's at very cheap, then it's probably bad quality. So people are actually going to a mid-price range. People are looking at, even when you're looking at things like consumer product reviews, it basically means that you're looking at what is the amount of, what is the brand experience been you're looking at. So I think that the customer and the brand experience has become a lot more personalized. It's almost like a marriage in a sense today. So if it's a marriage, I think it probably means that loyalty is at the largest and not at the lowest level at all. Thank you so much, Roshni. I think there are a couple of more questions.
Yeah. Now another 2-3 minutes time is there to hand over our session to Dr. K. Nirmala. At the outset, I am thrilled to have this kind of a chairmanship of a technical session for an international conference held by, organized by Commerce and Management Department of Bangalore University. In particular, I congratulate Dr. Nirmala for having taken up so much of pain in inviting more than 15 to 20 extraordinary intellectual power in this 3 days. And it was really a feast of academic inputs to the teachers. And being an academician for the 42 years, I am also feeling that how much I have to learn. How much tons and tons of knowledge is required to go to the classroom today, and the difference between what is there in the market and what we have in our mind, this conference has made it very clear. And I feel very happy to compliment all the university authorities, Department of Commerce, Department of Management, Cynthia Madam, and all the participants who have participated without any lethargy or without any tiredness, even on the third day, to this extraordinary academic input related issue. On behalf of myself and on behalf of all the audience who sat through for the whole of the session, I sincerely express my thanks to the speaker Divya Madam and also to Dr. K. Nirmala for having given such a wonderful opportunity to me to be a part of this. Thank you. Over to you. Good luck. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Again, I would just like to quickly also say thank you so much, sir. You've been a fabulous chair to the session. Thank you so much to all the participants for patiently sitting through this entire session. I want to quickly just, in the chat box, I will put in my email address. For any queries, please do reach out to me. Thank you, Dr. Nirmala, for this fabulous, and Dr. Menzies for putting across a very, very fabulous 2 days packed of, yes, Professor Menzies, for a very fabulous back-to-back session that I think all the students as well as the academicians, all of us have learned a lot about the diverse thing. And I think at some level, we need to thank the current scenario outside for this opportunity. Congratulations again. Like I told you, a lot of universities have just postponed their conferences. It's a very brave attempt, and kudos to all of you all for doing this so successfully. Thank you so much.
Madam, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And I think with this schedule of, we have to wind up and hand over to Dr. Cynthia. So with a lot of breathless, you just gave your speech, and it was wonderful, madam, because we are specialized in finance and you're into marketing. So not much of thought was there in our mind about the marketing. So you gave us the information, and I thank you once again for accepting and delivering excellent talk. And of course, Dr. Satyaprasad, we have been known each other for almost 4 decades. And sir readily accepted, being the senior most professor in Bangalore University, readily accepted to share with us and to be with us. And somehow he supported us. I think his support makes me also to do a lot of things, madam. So he supported, and he accepted this to be the chairperson and a chairman, in fact. And I thank you, sir, for being the chairman. And of course, I have to be thanking and a lot of my, I should say my pranams to Dr. Iresi. Sir is there from morning with us. And he's always, I don't know, I always tell he's my academic strength. And every time we meet or whenever I come across Dr. Iresi, only thing is that only academics come, nothing else. This is what is the strength for all of us. And sir is with us. Sir, thank you very much for being with us. And all of us kindly, now we'll hand over to the management session, 3 to 4, and 4 o'clock we have presentation of papers. So kindly join at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. So, Cynthia Madam, Dr. Cynthia Madam, we'll just hand over. You can just log in and we'll make you the host now. Will you continue with this or different link?
We'll continue.
Then we'll transfer off the host to you.
Okay. Thank you, Nirmala.
Yeah.
Nice talk, Divya.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about content-wise, how we are changing, that we are more ethical, that we are concerned about nature. Okay, that's what, but it's okay. We'll meet sometime.
Yeah. Even I had a lot of, I want some more information, but next time probably.
Sure, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. Anytime.
I want to learn a lot of things. I said, okay, next time. We'll definitely invite separately, madam. So we'll have a nice interaction sessions.
Of course. That sounds good.
Anita, are you there, Anita?
Madam, we have, Dr. Cynthia, we have made you host now. You can take over.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am is muted. Huh. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Aura.
Dr. Cynthia, unmute.
Good evening. Thank you, Nirmala. I couldn't unmute myself. I had made I had transferred the host this one. Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We at the management department are back now. And first of all, I have our program for 3 to 4 is as follows. We first of all will have a speech by Father Dr. Thomas. He's the principal of St. Paul's College of Nagasandra. He's going to talk about fake news and how it affects management, how it affects society. A small little introduction about Father Dr. Thomas. He's a PhD in psychology and counseling. His PhD is from Assam Don Bosco University. He has an MA in psychology and counseling from Fordham University, New York. He has a BA from the University of Mumbai and a BH from St. Peter's Pontifical Seminary, Bangalore. He also has a diploma in spirituality from San Paolo, Rome. He has been all over the world, as I can see that he has been, a director of promotion and training for the Society of St. Paul in India, Nigeria, and Ireland. Also, he's been a pastor for the Church of St. Monica, New York. So Father has a varied experiences, and he's, basically into communication and journalism. So we have invited him here to talk about fake news, media, how media can affect society, and how it can affect business management, etc. I'll hand over to you, Anita.
A very pleasant good morning to everyone who is listening to me on this virtual platform. Before I begin and enter into the topic, I like to sincerely appreciate and thank Bangalore University and the Department of Commerce and Management for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity to speak to you on a very important and very relevant and very crucial topic of our time, that is regarding the fake news. And therefore, what I am going to speak to you this morning is fake news and its impact on the society. We are almost at the end of this year, 2020. And we know 2020 was a very special year for us. And this year 2020 also will go down in the history for its specialties. And we know it is special because of the pandemic that we had to go through, or we are still going through. It was in the beginning of this year, to be exact, on the 30th of January 2020, the first COVID-19 case was reported in India. And since then, we have had so much of information bombarded to us, so much of information that we were exposed to regarding this pandemic. But all the time, not all information that we received were not right, not accurate, not right, not correct. We were given information about where it was originated, or sometimes discussions and contradictory information about whether it was man-made or it was natural, whether some companies or organizations or nations had vested interests about the spread of the coronavirus, whether or what are the causes for the spread of coronavirus, and what are the ways we can arrest, and what are the precautionary measures we can take, and how to stop. And so we were given so much of varied information regarding a pandemic. Unfortunately, we do not know a lot of times what is true and what is wrong. With the media explosion, we were given so much of information, and a lot of times we were confused as to which information that we have to take, whether this information was accurate, whether this information was correct, or whether it was fake, because we were getting contradictory information regarding a pandemic. Once there was a news about a news in the social media, a fake news about the need to eat vegetarian food, 19, and it was also mentioned that eating chicken would cause COVID-19. And we know when such an information is shared on a social media or in any medium, what would be the impact? As soon as this fake news was put out on a social media, there was so much of trouble, especially for the poultry industry. People began to stop eating or buying and eating chicken. As a result, suddenly the poultry industry went down massively. In a day, rupees worth 2,000 crores loss in the poultry industry just because somebody put out a news. And people stopped buying. The cost of chicken went down from rupees 200 to just rupees 60 or 70 per kg, affecting the entire poultry industry. And as a result, the farmers began to bury the chicken because they found this was going to be a big loss for them. We therefore see how this media is affecting the life. Media is affecting various aspects of the society. Now, because of the advancements in technology, particularly the advancements that we see in internet, the internet explosion, we are exposed to so much of information, and we call it information overload. There is information about everything under the sun that we are exposed to. Any information that we want to get on any topic, we have it on internet. But again, a lot of times we do not know which information that we have to take or which information that we have to neglect. We do not know how to filter the information that is available to us, whether the information is right or wrong, whether it is accurate or inaccurate, whether it is objective or it is biased, and so on. Therefore, what can we do? What can we do in order to know which information that we have to take? And it is a duty of every one of us, and it is the duty of the media to provide the right information. It is the duty of the media to provide news. It is the duty of the media to provide entertainment, but they have to ensure that they are providing right information, correct news, and the right entertainment. And today, media have so many platforms that are available for the dissemination of the news or the entertainment. It was in the past we had the print media, then it was the broadcast media, now we have the new media. But all these media platforms are available for the media houses to share the information, share news, and help people with the entertainment. Now, the question that we have to ask is, are these media giving us the right news, or are they giving us fake news? Now, as I already mentioned earlier, there is so much of fake news that is coming on social media. There was one fake news that came on the social media in India on WhatsApp in the year 2018, month of July. It was about kidnapping of children by some adults. It was a fake news, and the news went viral throughout the country. As a result, over 25 people were lynched because they were suspected as kidnappers. But unfortunately, they were not. They were good people. And because of this fake news that was spread on social media by somebody, that it went viral, so many people took the law into their hands and killing so many innocent husbands, innocent parents, breadwinners, leaving a lasting, very devastating impression on the society. We ask, what is fake news? According to a definition given by Dr. Nolan Hidden, a media scholar from the United States, he defines fake news as this: false or misleading content presented as news and communicated in formats spanning spoken, written, printed, electronic, and digital communication. It simply means that any form of communication, if it is inaccurate, if it is not right, if it is misleading, then it is a fake news. Now, we can probably categorize them under three categories. The first would be misinformation. Now, misinformation is inaccurate information published unintentionally. It is probably because the reporter or the journalist did not have accurate information. He or she did not collect complete information, and as a result, the information is half. The information is wrong, and that is misinformation, but not done intentionally. Second is disinformation. Now, this is sharing some information intentionally. There is a wrong motive behind sharing this information. It is opposite of misinformation. And the third is propaganda. Now, propaganda is campaigns intended to manipulate public opinion. We know we are exposed to this, especially when the elections are announced, and during the election campaigns or similar occasions, people try to put out information to propagate, to promote a person or a product or a particular ideology. So that is the third form of the fake news. Now, all other information, all other news, fake news that we can think of or consider would certainly come under one of these criteria that we have enlisted here. Now, we ask, why fake news? Now, there should be some reason why people put out fake news. There should be some benefit for them, or there should be some reason for that. And these are some of the reasons that we can think of when we speak of fake news. One is because of my hatred or my jealousy towards the other person. I'm not happy the way that person or that organization is growing. Therefore, I would want to put a stop to that because I'm not happy about it. Secondly, to take revenge on a person. Maybe this particular person or organization must have done something that is hurting to me, and therefore I would want to take revenge on that person or revenge on that organization. And third would be for political reasons, and we know we are exposed to this so much, especially during the political election, the campaigns. People speaking ill of the opposite leader or the opposite party. That is because we want to gain some benefit. We want to win the election. So for political reasons, people putting out fake news. Also to promote an ideology. It can be an ideology that we want to promote with regard to a religion, it can be for a political party or something that we believe. So we want to promote even if we know that this is not right because this gives me a certain mileage. Therefore, I put out a fake news to harm a competitor. Now, a competitor can be anybody who is competing with me. It can be in the field of business or academics or politics or religion, name anything. If I find the other person is competing with me and I want that person to go down, I want to put him or her down, then I put out a fake news against that person. To promote products, we know this is done by uh, all the ad agencies, ad companies. To promote the product, they would exaggerate sometimes, or they would give wrong information, because that is the way they can sell their product. And we see this happening, especially when they want to sell their products to children, and they would put out so much of wrong information in order to attract the buyer. And I think the last one is the most important one, because it pays. It gives us so much of revenue for every hit or every like or every share that we have on social media. So much of money, so much of revenue is generated. And therefore, I want to become rich, people becoming millionaires and billionaires, putting out this fake news. I think these are some of the reasons why people share fake news. Now, there are so many resources or sources of fake news. Any media we consider, and today we speak so much about the social media, but not only social media, all media can become source of fake news. Particularly these days, it is a social media, because it is so fast, so easily available, and we are so much exposed to it, so much glued to it. We check it quite often, easy to communicate, and for these reasons, social media become a source of fake news today. We also see fake news websites. For example, refer, let us say, the website of the Times of India. The people who want to fake news using this brand name, they might make small little changes on the URL. Instead of making maybe the timesofindia.com, it might be something like the timesofindian.com. The customer would not easily notice a difference and would consider sometimes, this is the actual website of the authenticated website of the Times of India. They would make a page, something that would look quite similar to the Times of India. So this would be deceiving people. This would be one of the ways people can put out fake news. And rumors that are spread on social media. So much of rumors that are spread on social media can be another source of fake news. Now, how do we recognize fake news? Ways to recognize are read beyond the headline. The headline can be very attractive sometimes. They put it out in all the bold letters and with some exclamations or question marks to attract the attention of the reader. But the content under the title may not have much to do with the title sometimes. So therefore, we need to go beyond the headline and read the content under the headline, and check what news outlet published it, whether it is a recognized or a reputed news media house that is putting out this news. Check for the date and time. Sometimes they might bring out a picture or an event that must have happened sometimes 3-4 years ago, 10 years ago, about a terrorist attack that must have happened someplace. But suddenly it would appear as if it happened yesterday. So we need to sometimes check out for the date and time. Check for the author, whether this author is a reputed author, whether this is a reputed magazine or a journal or a newspaper. Check for the sources and links. Always verify, double check with the links given, whether it is able to travel beyond the particular domain and whether it is able to give us accurate information. So check for that. Check if other reliable news outlets are publishing it. Also check with other news agencies whether they have the similar news or the same news published. So that would be one of the ways to check with and see. And check if it makes you to react strongly. See the emotions that we experience when we read this particular news. If it is causing a sudden reaction, then it is also good that we check and see whether this could be a right news or a fake news. Sometimes people put out news just for the sake of joke, as a satire. So I need to check for that. And sometimes it is good also asking experts if the information is correct. And always good to review our own biases. Why do we read this and why do we sometimes share this news? Is it because I agree to it or whether it is true? Sometimes just because this particular ideology, the news is agreeable to me, so that I may share, not exactly because it is true. So these are some of the ways probably we can recognize whether the news is fake or it's a fact. I'm just sharing with you some of the fact-checking sites that you could probably check for the authenticity of the news, whether it is right or wrong. A few of them that you can probably find online to verify the authenticity, the truthfulness of the news. And how does it impact the fake news? Fake news impacts all aspects of our life, starting with the education. We know kids, they are the people who can be easily influenced. They can be easily swayed by the information they receive because they do not know how to distinguish a fact from a fiction. And therefore these kids could be, children could be people who could be easily influenced. And therefore it is very important that children are taught to distinguish fact from fiction. As I mentioned earlier, there was this particular message and a particular fake news that went viral regarding the kidnapping of children. At the end of it, many schools across the country took on and initiated classes to educate children about the about fake news, about how to distinguish fake news from facts. So it is a challenging task in the field of education. Sometimes even educators themselves do not know how to distinguish the fact and the fiction. So this is highly impacting the education system of today, and that is highly dangerous, because children who will easily be swayed by the news can sometimes cause so much of damage. Therefore, the impact that it has on the education is highly dangerous. Second, for example, the impact it has on economy. A study done by cybersecurity company with the University of Baltimore in the United States found that the epidemic online fake news costs about $78 billion annually of the global economy. There was this fake news that came out in the year 2013 in the United States, that the White House was attacked and President Barack Obama was injured. As soon as this news came out, it went viral, and the stock exchange went drastically down in the United States. It fell by about $200 billion. And later in the day, it was found that it was a fake news. Of course, the economy was restored, but the damage it had suddenly caused just because somebody put out a fake news. And thirdly, the political attitude. There was again this particular fake news that came out in the United States just at the at the heat of the presidential election. There was a fake news about a pedophilia ring by presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, which later was found that it was because a person named Welch wanted to investigate the conspiracy theory for himself. That was the reason that he put out that message, and it went viral. The damage caused to the person, the party, the family, the entire nation was beyond repair, just because somebody put out a fake news. Fake news in matters of political attitude. A certain political leader or a political party can create news about the achievements of the party or opposition, can create a list of failures of the ruling party, and the people can get easily swayed by the information they receive. without checking whether it is fact or fiction. And that is why today there are so many online channels either supporting or opposing a certain political party or parties, and they are able to create much impact on the recipients of such information. And finally, putting together everything, the impact it has on the society. Every aspect of society is affected detrimentally when a fake news is put out. It can affect persons, it can affect families, institutions, nations, it can affect health, environment, research findings. So the impact fake news has on society as a whole globally is immense, and therefore they need to put an end to the promotion of the fake news. Having spoken about the source, what is fake news, and how to distinguish, how to recognize, it's very important that we speak about the responsibility of the media very briefly. Media, as I said in the beginning, has the responsibility of providing information, providing news, and providing entertainment. And that is the duty of the media. So media has to keep in mind that their responsibilities are fulfilled. First of all, their responsibility to be authentic with regard to the content, that they are truthful, the information is accurate, and it is objective, and it is balanced. Secondly, they should work within the framework in which they are that they are expected to work. Every land would have its laws and regulations, and every media house would have its laws and regulations. But above all, there is a media ethics, the purpose for which the media works. So they should work within the framework of the media. And thirdly, to ensure that there is nothing harmful is promoted in the media. They should refrain from whatever might lead to crime or might lead to violence or civil disorder. So it is a responsibility of the media to ensure nothing negative is promoted or nothing negative happens because of the media. And fourthly, the purpose is nation building. It is a well-being of every citizen of the country, and not to put down a particular group or particular sector or particular region or particular religion. No, the responsibility of the media is to for the overall growth of the nation, every growth of every citizen, and therefore ensure that the building up of the nation is a primary and the ultimate goal of every media house. And fifthly, to provide information and also to educate about everything under the sun, and by providing the right and the accurate and balanced information. And sixthly, to stay positive. It's not always about the positive news or the negative news, but the attitude, the approach the media house has, or the journalists have, the reporters have, in distributing or disseminating the news to the public. And they should always maintain a positive attitude, even if it is a sharing of negative information. And seventhly, the diversity that it should promote. All types of people, all groups of people, all categories of people, and they should have respect for them and promote everyone without showing any prejudice or bias towards anybody. And eighthly, the accountability that the media house has towards the society, towards every citizen of this country. So fulfilling these responsibilities, media house would certainly be recognized as one of the strong pillars of every nation. And maybe to conclude, fake news is there. Fake news will continue to be there. We have not seen the worst part of the fake news. The worst is yet to come. There are so many people with vested interests who try to promote fake news because they make money out of it. So what can we do? What can we do as individually and collectively as nation? What can we do? First of all, educate our children, educate our youth, and also the need to be educated. And what are we educating them? We are educating them that the no news should harm, and refrain from sharing any fake news, because fake news is causing damage. Fake news is destroying persons, destroying nations. Therefore, educate everyone about the need to refrain from sharing any fake news. Secondly, it is a personal responsibility that all of us have. All of us are responsible citizens of this country, and therefore we have the responsibility of sharing what is right and what is healthy and what is for the well-being of this nation. And if we have this responsibility in our mind, we will be very careful in not only just receiving the information and verifying the information, but also about sharing the information that we have received. Therefore, I think it is important that we verify before we forward or before we share any information. And if we truly care before we share any information, that would be something great that we can do for our society. Um, in today's terms, in the context of the pandemic, if we want to say, sanitize information that we receive before we forward it to someone. I would like to conclude saying it is a responsibility of every citizen of this country, young, old, rich, poor, affluent, illiterate, educated. Every sector of the society has this responsibility, because we are all one way or other channels of information. We receive information and we share information. In simple words, you and I, we are the media, and if we take good care, we can put a stop to all these fake news. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Thomas. Um, we thought that having the impact of fake news in this current, during COVID-19 times, we have been victims, all of us, of reading and propagating, transmitting a lot of fake news, and we are not really sure of how to find out. So we thought at the MBA department, that this would be an important topic, and Father stood in and talked for us. Thank you very much, Father. A grateful and heartwarming gratitude and thank you from the Department of Management Studies. We have 5 paper presentations till 4 p.m. And the chairman of this, Dr. Venkatesh, has Dr. Venkatesh logged in? Venkatesh sir from ABBS. I'll introduce Dr. H.R. Venkatesha, Director and Professor of Acharya Bangalore B School. He is an MCom and a PhD in Marketing Management. He has been a professor in Dharwad University before Karnataka University, Dharwad. And then he is currently the founder director of Acharya MBA. Under his chairmanship and under his leadership, they have got the accreditation from NBA and IACBE, United States. He has successfully guided 9 scholars for their PhD program and currently guiding 7 more. He's a renowned author. He has published 45 articles in national and in international journals, including peer-reviewed journals with a high impact factor. 5 books have been authored by him, and he's currently the editor of Amber, an in-house journal of ABBS. He also has presented more than 36 research papers in international conference, mostly in Japan, USA, China, Sri Lanka, and Sudan. He is also a resource person and has organized very many conferences and research programs. Also, Dr. Venkatesh, he's a well-traveled person. I should say he's a globetrotter by the number of countries he has given me. I welcome you, Dr. Venkatesh. Yes, Kindly unmute Dr. Venkatesh. I'll hand it over to Dr. Venkatesh. Dr. Venkatesh's name on this is capital OERTDC. This is for the tech support. Kindly unmute, sir. It says OERTDC.
Yeah,
Venkatesh, sir, can you take over?
yeah, thank you, madam. And thanks for nice introduction. And it is my honor to chair this session where Soumya, Pallavi, Anita, Raghavendra, and Dr. Lakshmi are presenting papers in this order. And I welcome you all to this presentation. And before I leave the forum to you, a few words from me. The recent trends in the global business scenario are very, very dynamic. And we know how Industry 4.0 is influencing every facet of business. It could be automobiles, it could be agriculture, or it could be pharmaceutical. Say, I'm told we use only 6% of the vehicles, 94% of the time vehicles are parked now. And the digital economy would change the whole automobile industry. And Uber and Ola would definitely make use of the cars more than what we are doing now. And every phase, say for example, consumer is more digitally connected consumer today, and marketing is going global, and countries are becoming national. We are talking about deglobalization. That is starting from Japan's Abe to Trump in USA. And if you look at what is happening in India, we can see what we have learned during the WTO era of globalization and integration of the world economy has taken a reverse hit. I don't know whether it is for good or bad, but one thing, every country is talking about national economy today, and nationalism has come to the forefront. And with this digitally connected consumer is bringing all changes in every possible industry. It could be pharmaceutical, and it could be in marketing, finance, in any facet of area. You can see the changes that is happening. With this free introduction to the concept, now it is already 3:38. That is why I request all the presenters to limit your presentation to 4 to 5 minutes, because madam has told me just now that we have to wind up by 4 o'clock. We are just left with 22 minutes. That is why I request all the presenters to present for 4 to 5 minutes max. Over to Soumya.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, myself, Soumya, I'll be presenting the paper on the topic managing employee performance during COVID. It is known that the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence. It is to act with yesterday's logic, says Peter Drucker. So what we plan for tomorrow, for the new normal, is more important. So I took up the study on understanding the employee performance, and especially during the pandemic. But organization always expect high employee performance from the employees in order to attain the organizational targets. The main objective of this paper was to underline those factors that affect managing employees' performance and to know the strategies that is being used only to stimulate their potential during the pandemic scenario. So the study was conducted among 13 managers, HR managers, and the team leaders from the different IT companies. This is an exploratory qualitative research using semi-structured in-depth interview. So the primary data was collected from the telephonic interview, and the secondary data was also based on the current data and the scenario. I'll directly move to the results and discussion due to the shortage of time. Most of the respondents interviewed mentioned that they have evaluation session twice a year with the employees. The evaluation system is based on both quantitative indicators, especially profit and cost contribution, and qualitative indicators in terms of customer satisfaction, service level agreement, and the key performance indicators of the company. Majority of them analyzed performance through the employee's level of implication in completing tasks in terms of any errors or any problems arised in completing the task, the capabilities they have, communication skills, attitude, and relationship with colleagues and customers, as they all were working from home during the lockdown, as well as innovation and decision making capacity. The third question was in terms of understanding how they encouraged personal development, and all the respondents agreed that encouraging personal development and initiative and to create the appropriate environment and opportunities are methods that can increase the level of performance. Almost all IT organizations made a point to provide the working environment to their employees, providing all the facilities in terms of laptop or any connectivity or any such environment that is required for them to perform better in order to increase the level of performance. Coming to the factor, the past few months has urged business and HR leaders across the globe to revisit their strategies for ensuring business continuity and employee satisfaction. In these times, reassuring employees is of paramount importance, and organizations have taken greater strides in boosting the employee morale. So here we came out with some of the strategies what the organization has been implementing. Annual appraisals, hikes, and incentives. During the lockdown, also during the pandemic period, there were organizations which incentivized employees who have shown the extraordinary commitment towards the organizations. Secondly, ensuring business continuity through remote working. All of them
Soumya,
were, yes,
Soumya, you
sir.
have last 1 minute.
Yes, sir, I'm concluding. And accurate alignment of the key performance indicators even during the lockdown period. Regular performance reviews. It was the monthly reviews, and also inter and intra teams were given the opportunity to review the performance. Employee engagement, where communication became the key factor in order to improve the mental well-being of the employees. And lastly, digital educational or the training portals for the learning and development. So I would like to conclude here, every initiative and strategy that an organization takes should be a reflection of supporting employees' performance. So taking care of your employees, and definitely they will take care of your organization, as well said by Richard Branson. Thank you. I conclude here, sir.
Thank you, Soumya. Next, Pallavi, please. Pallavi.
Good afternoon to all the delegates, and I would like to start with the conference presentation. So I hope all of you can see the slide.
Yes. Yes, Pallavi,
Okay.
we can see it.
Yes, sir. So today my topic of discussion would be on marketing difficulties in a supermarket during the pandemic situation. So myself, Pallavi, who is working as an assistant professor in AIMS Institute and as a research scholar in CBSMS under the guidance of Dr. Cynthia Menezes. My discussion on this paper will be completely on retail marketing sector. Today, marketing has been a major impact during the pandemic situation. Under this sector, my focus is towards the supermarket. So supermarket has been majorly impacted because the consumers or the buyers would not be able to reach up to the store and do a physical buying, or in other words, the traditional buying pattern. So this pandemic has created a major impact for all the marketers to think beyond what next, if not a physical traditional buying, then what next? So my research was completely focused towards this, on what are the difficulties. So my objective study is the understanding of the COVID-19 impact, analyze the marketing strategies that were adopted, and to suggest marketing strategies. So this research methodology adopted is completely on a questionnaire method under the supermarket store. The findings are as per the information which was collected on a primary source and researching a little on secondary source. we understand that the respondents, majority of them feel the sales did not impact on the retail sector before and after pandemic, because these products are the FMCG and the daily products. Yes, during the lockdown, yes, it was a closure, but after the ease of the lockdown, the people started to move from a traditional market towards the digital marketing. The respondents also feel the promotions have given a larger impact towards the buying of the products. And this pattern of change of consumers from the traditional shopping to the online shopping or a door delivery has given a major sales towards the supermarket store. And this kind of a pricing strategy, which a marketer has adopted by giving a lot of promotional strategies or promotions, has given a major impact for a consumer's buying pattern. So the suggestions as per the findings would be to transform towards a digital marketing with a better design and content. And there should be a importance given to the emotional connect on a digital platform. It so happens that digitally connecting the consumers is a little bit difficult. So at a digital platform, which is a new trend of buying behavior for a consumer, we need to have a proper emotional connect. And we can use social media as one of the calling card. It could be now the trend is recruitment through LinkedIn, and we have Facebook where we have a marketplace to connect to the direct buyers. And we also have a lot of impact on sharing through word of mouth. So these are the recent trends today which we have to get connected from the traditional buying. And yes, as a superstore, there has to be a connectivity to the consumers looking at their buying pattern on the specific product offers. So this can influence the consumer to buy more. And the marketers should focus towards a reduction in the shipping charges and give a free home delivery. Keeping all this in mind, the impact of COVID has actually given space for get on to digital marketing and has helped more of the consumers to get more of choices on digital platform. So I would like to conclude that the term marketing encapsulates from ground marketing to digital marketing. And through the research, we can conclude that the retail sector gained its demand after the lockdown, either through online or offline shopping. So from the economy point of view, the marketers should make sure that there is a healthy hygiene and safety measures to support the shopping pattern of the consumers. So I would like to conclude here that digital marketing will also give space towards the GDP growth of our Indian economy. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Pallavi, for finishing your presentation in time. And it was a good presentation. Thank you, Pallavi.
Thank you, sir.
Next, Anita. Anita, please.
Yeah, good evening to one and all present. My research, the paper on impact of COVID-19 on assets and portfolio managers in India. I'm sharing the screen. So I'm the guest faculty and research scholar in CBSMS, Bangalore University. So the topic is introduction part. When we go to the introduction part, the global COVID-19 pandemic has become the black swan event and will require actually extraordinary actions from governments around the world to restore economic stability. So the black swan event means the event which is categorized as a non-predictable and high impact event. So the World Health Organization said that it has affected thousands of people in at least 190 countries. Even the GDP of the world, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has reduced the GDP from 2.5 to 1.3% for the year 2020, and it was actually the main impact on investment and portfolio managers, because people earn their money and give it to the portfolio managers to manage their funds. And the objective of this research is to analyze the risk and concern of portfolio managers with respect to COVID-19. And at the same time, the other objective is to identify the measures taken to combat the pandemic effect on portfolio management companies. And the limitations of this study is the study covers only 18 portfolio managers, and the research is carried out in Bangalore city only, and the study is limited to impact of COVID-19 pandemic specifically. Then the methodology adopted is a descriptive research design is adopted in this study, and the sampling method is stratified random method is adapted as the respondents are selected on the geographical basis from north, east, west, and south parts of Bangalore. And the sample unit is assets and portfolio managers, and the size is 18, and data collection method was adopted, informal interviews and structured questionnaires, and tools for analysis, charts, tables, percentages are used for analyzing the data. As the sample size is just 18, we have not gone for any statistical methods. So, and what we did found out in this study is 8 to 6 managers are in the age group of 40 to 50, sorry, 8 managers are in the age group of 40 and 50 years, and 6 managers are in the above 50 age. So 6 managers are from engineering background and 8 are from professional background like CA, ICWA and all that. And when the managers responded to the questionnaires, and in that they agreed that 38.9% of managers agreed that they are accelerating the digital transformation initiative, while 61.11% asserted that they are continuing already existed digital initiative, and 44.22% managers listed that market volatility and capital depletion is the biggest challenge before them, while 22.22% listed liquidity management as the biggest challenge they have faced due to COVID-19. And
Anita, sorry for interruption. You have lost 1 minute.
yes, sir. I have already came to this one, and the suggestions and are not given in this slide, as I am as the researcher want to take this study to take further, and maybe 350 portfolio managers are approached, and so that is why there is no suggestions expecting a reply from them. Thank you, sir. And thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita. Next, Raghavendra, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So
yes, it is visible.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. So myself, Raghavendra. I'm a corporate professional working for a leading cybersecurity firm. I'm as well as a research scholar under the guidance of Ms. Cynthia Menezes. So I've done a case study on how our latest e-commerce firm called Big Basket was hacked. So it is an explanatory case study which is being carried by myself. I've relied on the primary source of my organization as well as on the secondary sources over the internet. So many people might be aware of our word big basket. We have come across in our day-to-day life where we have seen the door delivery guys taking out the groceries to each and everyone's house. So this big basket was a main target during this pandemic time. My case study is an explanatory case study. So it shows that how a firm like Big Basket was hacked and how the data was leaked on the dark web. So going further, I want to start with an introduction. This pandemic was a hot cake for each and everyone. many people took it in a wrong way and many people took it in a sportive. So the pandemic pushed each and every one of us to get into much difficulties in their lives. People lost their jobs, organizations were shut down, and there were many loss of revenue for each one of us during this period. So the techies of this industry, who are very geeks in their respective fields, got into illegal ways in order to hack the data of the firms. So Big Basket was such a firm, an Indian entity, which did not rely much on the security norms laid by the governing bodies of the international standards. So this was hacked recently. So going further, we are aware that Big Basket was an e-commerce firm. And to elaborate more, Big Basket was also started by well-recognized three founders by Vipul Parak, Abhinav Chaudhary, and VC Ramesh. These are the persons who started the more retail chain. We see the more retail chain which is there in each and every well-known areas of Bangalore. So this retail chain, they came up with the delivery of the groceries to the household people as well. So they named it as Big Basket. So this Big Basket, the firm, was totally relied on their profits, and they were not knowing that they will surely be breached in terms of data. So main objectives of mine on this case study was the reason behind the data breach, and also to analyze how secure data was compromised on the dark web, and also to identify the loopholes in the organization and to look at the best security practices in terms of security. So the research methodology, what I have opted here is an explanatory case study. So I've done the research myself. I've built up the case study of my own entity. So I've relied on the sources as mentioned earlier. So going further to the results, so I figured out that 2 lakh customer data was compromised on the dark web. This was available for just 17,000 USD dollars. So when we imagine 2 lakh cardholders data, this will mainly contain the cardholder name, the cardholder's number, the CVV numbers. So we might now think that how secure our Indian firms are when we do an online transaction. So suppose if this data was available to any third-party entity in the world, they would totally misuse our cardholder data. They can totally hack our accounts. They can get our money. They can launder our money. So that was one of the key results. Then other key result of Big Basket, what I figured out from my own firm is like, this firm relied on the self-assessment questionnaire, which was laid by the governing body. They did not go through the audits. So this was another main drawback of the Big Basket for getting compromised. So later, when our own organization went and did the forensic investigation in the Big Basket, they figured out that the firewalls was very weak. The firewalls which was kept in their organization between the secure data and the data management was not of that adequate level.
Sorry to interrupt, Raghavendra. You have lost 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Almost done, sir. Yeah. So these were the key results. So what is the suggestion from my end to the firms like Big Basket? They should rightly get audited from a PCI QSA firm, which are recognized by the PCI DSS standards, which is an universal standard. Then also they should go through the audits on an yearly basis. And they should also rely on the best security practices. They should not look at the profits on a whole. They should try to bring in the latest technologies which are already in place. So conclusion, the pandemic has revealed the true faces of each and everyone's during tough times. Even the organizations have got to know the wrath of the pandemic. So our firms should not rely on the profit and not save their buckets in terms of securing the environment. They should also bring in the latest technology in order to be safe and secure in this tough times. So that's it from my end, sir.
Thank you, Raghavendra. Last presentation of the day, that is by Dr. Lakshmi.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead, Lakshmi.
Yes, sir. I'm sharing my PPT.
Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sharing my PPT.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am not able to share the PPT. Shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, my study is on determinants of factors affecting gold price with reference to Indian market. My co-author is Dr. D.P. Verma. We are from Tejon College, Bangalore. Objective of the study is to study the impact and its significance of increasing gold price on the Indian economy. Second one is to study the factors affecting the increase in the gold price in India and to study the impact of pandemic on gold price. This paper aims at investigating the factors for sharp increase in the price of gold in India from period 2009 to 2019. The study is mainly based on secondary data. The study analyzes the yearly average gold price, which have been calculated by taking average of gold price of every month of every year. Significance of gold in Indian economy is Indians are overwhelmingly attracted towards gold. It may be for ornaments or for investment. Their attraction towards gold jewelry has roots in the culture and tradition. These days, the meaning of gold totally changed. In current paradigm, gold has become one of the best modes of investment, which can save modes of investment in the fluctuate market. Despite the sharp recent price rise in India, demand for gold has sustained, not only as a component of safe savings, but also due to its social and cultural importance. First, factors influencing the price of gold. When I am talking about that, the price is increasing from 2000 to 2020. When we are considering in 2009, it was 14,500 for 10 grams, but now in 2020, it is 44,000. Around 35 to 40% increase has happened. Different factors are, the first one we can consider as currency fluctuation. Economists have recognized the role of currency valuation in pricing commodities, particularly imported commodities such as oil and gold. The material commodities, however, which possess these qualities in the highest degree are gold and silver. Due to these reasons, gold was selected under common consent to be the universal value for commodity exchange. There is a negative relationship. There is a negative relationship between the value of the dollar and gold, and suggests that as the dollar loses value, the price of both commodities increases. And when it comes to the another factor, pandemic, gold in India is a solid instrument for investment even before the pandemic arrived. Traders in India invest in gold billion as it is considered a safe option. Gold prices have reached an all-time high in India due to the pandemic, but a large part of this has been driven by depreciating rupee and increased import duty. That was the study shows. It must be noted that gold prices in India include 12.5% import duty and 3% GST. On the other hand, international gold prices are much lower than the all-time high price of gold in India. Another factor is inflation. Inflation and gold is considered to be a hedge against inflation. Researchers define inflation as the general rise in the price level and use changes in the consumer price index as the measure of monthly inflation. I'm not able to share the slide here. We have seen how the inflation and gold price are related. And another factor is decrease in the supply of the gold.
Sorry, Lakshmi, you have to finish in 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And decrease in the supply of the gold and geopolitical concern. Whenever there is geopolitical trouble, as we know that 9/11 attack in US lead increase in the demand of the gold. Yeah, I'm coming to the conclusion. This paper studies the mixture of factors contributing towards the price of gold in India and how factors like business environment, political environment, economic environment of the country, market conditions, behavior of the consumer, the COVID pandemic, and inflation have affected price of gold during last 10 years. From the point of view of advanced research, there is a need to concentrate on the issue whether gold represent a prolific asset in India. Such research will have far accomplishment intention for policies relating to gold in context with domestic market. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you very much. All of you, I have to congratulate all of you because the topics you have chosen from your topic of Lakshmi is to gold price, to digital security and portfolio management, retail and HR are really, go well with the main theme of the conference, that is the recent trends in marketing, HR, finance, banking and such other areas. And I profusely thank Madam Cynthia for giving me an opportunity to chair this session. And you have all the paper presenters have reflected on the recent theme, even though a lot of research can go into the areas what you have chosen, but you have made a great beginning because the topics are exciting and you have made a great effort to make a foray into the area. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
over to Professor Cynthia, madam.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Venkatesh. First of all, heartfelt thanks to you for standing in at a short notice. And you did a fantastic job, sir, as a chairman, because everybody was so comfortable and they could really give the gist of the paper in the time you stipulated. And your guidance was great. Thank you so much, sir. I must also tell you that we were also online on management on Monday, and we finished about 20 papers that day and 5 papers now. And we are concluding our part of session. Since it is getting late, I'll call off Dr. Nirmala to please take over. And thank you, all of you. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What is there?
Sir, we'll start.
Sir, can we start, sir?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So we can ask Iris to speak later.
Oh.
Satyaprasad, sir?
Yeah.
Professor Iris is there, so probably after the session you can ask. Both of you can speak for a few minutes, sir.
Oh, sure.
You and Professor.
It is so great pleasure to associate with Professor.
Yes, sir. Both of you can speak.
Dr.
So, Professor Iris, sir? Professor Iris, sir?
Hello.
Sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಏನ್ ಸತ್ಯಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಸರ್.
ಏನಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಂಥಿಯಾ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ನಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು?
So sincere thanks to Corona.
ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ 70 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಲ್ ವಿ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಹೌ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, see, I will tell you, this is academic, conference.
Yes,
and it is a pleasure to know different speakers and their views. So it's not that we do not know. Oh, Sukanya is also there. Hello.
Yes, yeah. Madam, welcome.
So it is nice to know the views of different, people.
Yes,
but,
yes.
most of them are from the field. We are teachers and researchers.
Okay.
Our views are different, and the field experience is different. That's what Professor Satyaprasad was mentioning in his talk. That Divya Madam could bring in both, the field and the theoretical part of it, so that the students are very much benefited.
Yeah.
See, I have now what is education? Suppose we put this question. I think each one of us will try to say something which somebody has already said. It is education is for this and that and all. Now, after this pandemic and the fall of the policies, the continuous policies of the government in the last 8 to 10 years, we find that there is a need for looking differently the concept of education now.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So, one fundamental question which all of us have to raise in our class to ourselves, not to the students, to ourselves is, are we training or are we teaching?
Teaching.
This is a fundamental question we have to raise. Because if you say we are teaching, we have been doing it for generations. For decades we have been doing. But in the job market, our students are not getting placed. Right? Maybe 50% are getting placed, 50% are suboptimal. They may be getting placement, but they're suboptimal. It is not to the full extent. If an MCOM student or an MBA student drawing 12,000 or 15,000 rupees is definitely an insult to all of us. Even at BCom level, BBA or BHM, whatever it is, they would have drawn that money, having come to us and
Actually,
investing
ಅವರೇ
their
ಪೇ
2
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು
years,
ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ
very
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು
precious life of 2
ಮೇಡಮ್
years.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು
If they do not,
ನಾಗಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅವರೇ ತಾನೇ
train them, I think somewhere we are missing.
No, sir, we'll just unmute it, sir.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು
So
ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕೇಳಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ
my understanding of education today means develop people. In the morning, our bank professor, that SLN Rao, or what is that man, he was talking on demography and all those things. So fine, who are these people? They are sitting before us now. So unless we develop them, I think the role of a teacher has to differently shift now in the digital, and all these things are happening. Whether we say or we do not say, it is happening. But the question is how much we have developed them. I think this is a very fundamental question, and now I have always said that education for me, which I have been speaking on several what is that, HRDC, what do you call, HRD centers, academic staff colleges,
Yes, sir.
in so many places, Udaipur, Bengal, Hyderabad, Bangalore, so many places they keep inviting me. I said, look, for me education means developing people. So whoever is there before us, these students, it becomes our responsibility to develop them. Once upon a time we were teaching. I was also a teacher. I have also done the same thing what you have been all doing. But that time the requirements were different. Industry and the pace of the business was not as fast as it is today. So fundamentally we have to now shift and start looking from a different dimension. And the industry wants industry ready students or industry ready candidates. So that becomes, unless we blend practitioners, professionals, industry people, called by any name, and researchers. Teacher shall not be just a textbook now. You have to move forward now. Bring your research and your experiences into the classroom. Now, somebody was presenting just now about the gold,
Yes, sir.
pricing of gold and its fluctuations, etc. COVID-19 is one situation. It does not happen all through.
Yes.
But the point is how these markets are working. So we have to move now with these virtual classrooms. You should all move to real time. Please understand, you are all very good in technology, operations, etc. You go to real time classrooms, wherein you must all of you must have smart boards. When you talk about stock market, immediately the stock market should reflect on the board what is right now happening in BSE. Right now, at say 11 o'clock or 11:30, what is happening in BSE? Right? Then make a comparative study. Yesterday, what was this? 1 month ago, what was this? No, that is where somebody was talking on portfolio and all those things. It's fine. From the research point of view, it is fine. But I'm saying from the teacher's point of view, see, we have to motivate them. Teacher is not a person to transfer information. Teacher is a person who has to kindle the spirit to know. Kindle the spirit to know. That is the role of a teacher. That is how I will take it as a teacher. That means your lecture always should be not just pushing the information. While pushing the information, raise the interesting doubts which you may be having and which you have envisioned, which may happen tomorrow. How do we see all of us? And that's what somebody was I was sharing. And January 2020, we all of us wished each other very happy new year, best of luck, blah blah blah, so many things, greetings. First, at least the first 15 days, then followed by Sankranti greetings and all that. Then what has happened? Last 9 months, we are all locked up, one way or the other, isn't it? So times are changing. We have to change. Anything which we cannot foresee what is going to happen, but we have to change with times. We have to change with times and develop students for tomorrow. Develop students for tomorrow with the experience of today and yesterday. That is the focus of a teacher. So we have to move into a new paradigm. What is that? Unlearn, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learn, unlearn. Because the technology is so fast. Whatever I've learned is gone today. It's so much disruptive. Today we talk about IoT, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, so many things. This all should come into our classrooms now. It has to come to the classrooms now. So all of you, while taking up this designing of new syllabus, bring in all this. Bring in all this. We are already working at the national level in the field of accounting. We are bringing all this on into our curriculum now. So that is how we have to develop. Anyway, thank you, Nirmala, for this time. I keep talking like this, but
it's wonderful, sir, to hear your talk.
No. So it is nice. I could see Madam Sarvamangala also here. Yeah, yesterday I didn't, look at her. I couldn't see her. And Prasad, for a long time, more than I think 4 or 5 years, I have not seen him. It's nice. He's taking his GT Institute to greater heights, which is good. I'm very happy and very proud of all of you that you're all on a right track. And the shoulder of business education, it is on your shoulders. And your shoulders for at least the next 1 decade, 1 to 2 decades. Whatever was possible, we could do a little bit, but there is a lot of things to do ahead in the changing times. Thank you very much, Nirmala, for the
Thank
time
you,
you have
sir.
given.
Please don't say thanks, sir. It's a pleasure that you're here.
Right.
Anyway, Dr. Sukanya, and we welcome even Sarvamangala for this session. Dr. Sukanya and Dr. Satyaprasad, and all of you can have a discussion. I think we just have few papers today. So you can just have some talks from your side, maybe for 5-10 minutes, and then you can share your views on the subject and to the students, to the participants. So you can take over, sir. Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Sir, you have to unmute, sir.
Good evening to Dr. Sukanya and Dr. Sarvamangala and Dr. Nirmala. I would like to give opportunity first to the paper presenters,
Okay,
because they feel bad if we talk and if we ignore them.
No,
Anyway,
sir,
how much time I have for this session?
The 4 minutes you can give, and 1 minute for any question answer, sir.
No, 6 papers are there. Totally,
Yes,
how many minutes I have for this last session?
So you can take around at least 20 minutes, sir.
20 minutes for paper presentation and another 5-6 minutes for
and then if you have
concluding
anything
remarks.
to talk, you and Dr. Sukanya, and you can just have a...
Sure. So without wasting much of my time, I would invite all the 6 paper presenters, and my sincere appeal to all the 6 paper presenters to do this a simple technique of paper presentation. I don't want you people to give PPT. I don't want you people to give introduction. Straight away go to the title and objectives of the study and the tools used for doing the research, and the findings and recommendations. Only 5 items I need from all of you, so that I will be able to measure the quality of the paper in a very brisk manner. 3 + 1 is the minute which I am going to allocate for each of the paper presenters. To start with, Ashwini TS, Navya R, Pavitra T, BR Aishwarya. The title of the paper is a study on anxiety level among college students taking online classes during COVID-19. Over to Ashwini TS.
Yes, sir. So is the screen visible?
Yeah. Don't use the screen straight away. Talk. No, 3 minutes you have.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Navya R from Mount Carmel College. I will be presenting our research paper titled "A Study on Anxiety Level Among College Students Taking Online Classes During COVID-19" on behalf of our team members. Our statement of problem is, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, students are forced to stay away from their peers, teachers, and communities. The sudden transition might have led to anxiety among college students due to the uncertainty of the situation. Therefore, this research aims to study the anxiety level among the college students taking online classes during COVID-19. Our objectives of this study were to study the level of anxiety among the college students taking online classes, to compare the anxiety level among male and female college students taking online classes during COVID-19. And the third objective was to compare the anxiety level based on the streams of college students, that is arts, science, and commerce, taking online classes during COVID-19. The sample size, methodology, the random sampling method was used for selecting the sample, and sample size consists of 100 students over the age group of 17 to 23 years from different colleges studying in Bangalore. An online survey method was used for data collection, and we have used a questionnaire which consists of 10 questions on a 5-point Likert scale. So from figure 1, data analysis and interpretation. So from this figure, we can identify that the anxiety level among college taking online classes is ranging between the moderate to high level. 40% of the students experience high anxiety. Figure 2 represents the level of anxiety experienced by male and female college students taking online classes during COVID-19. And figure 3 represents the level of anxiety among different educational streams of college students taking online classes during COVID-19. We have applied independent sample t-test in order to get more reliable results, and we have found out that there was no significant difference between the male and female college students with respect to their anxiety level during COVID-19 at 5% level of significance.
1 minute to go.
And also we have
one
yes,
minute to go.
So mean anxiety. So our findings from the research were, so the anxiety level among the college students were ranging between moderate to high level, and on the basis of different educational streams. Suggestions for further research studies can be conducted on a large and representative sample to get more reliable results. And currently, anxiety has become an area of interest for all the researchers and practitioners, and our present study has indicated that the anxiety among students is ranging between moderate to high levels. So the educational institutions have to take measures to curb the anxiety level among college students, especially during social catastrophes like COVID-19 outbreak. I'm grateful to Bangalore University for providing me this opportunity to participate in the International Science Fiction Conference. And I also thank our management, our faculty members from Mount Carmel College, and our principal sister Arpana for all the facilities that have been provided to us. Thank you one and all.
Okay, excellent. Next paper, Dr. R. Rohini, Silsila Shereen, Swati, Pavitra, and Hina Sarwat. The title of the paper is Effects on Climate Changes on Agriculture in India.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good evening, respected sir and madam. Myself, Swati Solanki from Mount Carmel. Today, I'm going to present to you our paper presentation on the topic effect of climate change in agriculture India under the guidance of Dr. Rohini R. First of all, you should know that weather and climate are not the same thing. Weather is short-term, limited area, and can change rapidly, difficult to predict. Climate is long-term, wide area, seasonal changes, and measured over the long period of time. Weather is what's happening outside your window right now, and climate is the average of the year. Moving forward to the introduction, one of the major challenges facing humankind is to provide an equitable standard of living for present and future generation, adequate food, water, energy, safe shelter, and healthy environment. Agriculture production is directly dependent on the climate change and weather. India is the home to 16% of world population, but only 4% of world water resources. Agriculture is directly dependent on the climate change. The objective of our studies, as we did in the impact of climate change on the agriculture in the state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Jharkhand, were to analyze the climatic change and effects on agriculture in India, to find out the awareness of farmer on climatic change in the state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Jharkhand, and to study and understand the adaptation measure undertaken by farmer varied climate changes. Methodology. This research study is quantitative in nature. The data collected in this present research study was through the primary sources, wherein the structured questionnaire were formed through Google Forms, which we sent through the WhatsApp and mail to the respondent in the state of Karnataka, Jharkhand, and Tamil Nadu. The secondary data has been obtained through the research journal, internet newspaper article, and simple random sampling mention is used, and only 32 respondent is collected from these three states. Here is the few demographical details. According to the graph, only 33% of respondent belong to Jharkhand and Karnataka, and 22% belongs to Tamil Nadu. I will come to the summary of the paper. The study assessed the climate change impact on the land productivity for major food and non-food grain crops in India. We compiled the data using 15 crops across Jharkhand, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Across Tamil Nadu state, estimate the variation of agriculture production. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. We can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. Our results indicate that land productivity and decrease with an increase in annual average temperature is most of the crop. The adverse impact of climate change on agriculture production indicates the food security threats to the small marginal farming. Result shows that the rise in temperature would also reduce the agriculture productivity and assess the sensitivity of Indian agriculture climate. The suggestion and conclusion as we came through our study where climate change are happening across the globe, we need to realign our crop planning and as per the changes in climate and monsoon patterns. This will increase our productivity and help to select the right crops to the plant. The government plans to revive crop planting across the country to align agriculture planning with the changes in climate and rainfall pattern. These are the few schemes by the Indian government, which is RAD, Rainfed Area Development, SHM, Soil Health Management, NRA, National Rainfed Area Authority. These schemes help farmer through cultivation, and farmer also need to thought about the smart farming for the betterment of their living. And here is a small message from Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar. He is an Indian politician and member of 17th Lok Sabha. He is the Minister of Agriculture. He is the Minister of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare for the Rural Development. His message to the farmer of India, that he has said about the dreadful climate changes event like flood, cyclone, which is happening, and Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare and Ministry of Rural Development have initiated.
Dr. Rohini, this time up, please.
Okay, sir. I would like to express my special thank of gratitude to my faculty, Dr. Rohini, Mrs. Ranjani Kohra, Sana Prasad, Asmit TH, and Lavanya Balaji, who gave us the golden opportunity. I would even like to thank the Bangalore University for giving us this beautiful opportunity. Secondly, I would like to thank my team members, Cecilia, Hina, and Pavitra L, who helped me a lot in finalizing the presentation with a limited time frame. To those that work in acres, not in hours, we thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, third paper presenter is Sahana Prasad, Ashna D. Bhatavia, Pritika Balaji, V. Yashaswini. The topic of the paper is Influence on Online Services on Individuals' Lifestyle in Bangalore City. Over to Sahana.
Yes. Good evening. I'm Ashna D. Batavia. The title of our paper is Influence of Online Services on Individuals' Lifestyle in Bangalore City. I'll be presenting the same on behalf of our team guide, Ms. Sahana, and our team members, Pritika Balaji and V. Yashaswini. The internet has changed our lives upside down, changing various aspects of it, and it is a very essential part of our lifestyle. It provides various services, right from education to entertainment and various other services. And due to the current situation of COVID-19, we see that a lot of customers have shifted their focus from physical or traditional shopping to online services. And this has risen the success of e-commerce business industry. The objective of the study is to analyze the influence of online service on consumers' lifestyle during COVID-19, to determine the level of awareness of online service among people, to determine what kind of online services have been most frequently used amidst the pandemic, and to know about the consumer's opinion towards various aspects of online services. Under methodology, under our research design, I would like to say that our study is a descriptive study. It describes the impact that online services has on customers. Our data is collected in the form of both primary and secondary data. Primary data is collected from responses from a structured questionnaire, and the secondary data is collected from different articles, journals, and websites. Our population consists of people from Bangalore city, and we have a sample size of 70 respondents, and the sampling technique that we have used to reach out to our respondents is convenient sampling. For analysis, we made use of percentage analysis, frequency, mean, and standard deviation. Now, based on the responses, our findings are as follows. Most of our respondents are highly aware of online services, and it's easy to say why, because most of the respondents are students between the age group of 21 to 30, and they are very well acquainted with technology. Another finding is that although online services have their own advantage, there are a few downfalls, like the increase in the level of laziness among users, and they reduce their social interaction skills. We also see that although most of our respondents are students, there is a very less frequency of usage of online educational services, so they can improve on their services to get more customers. And we can also see that there are a high frequency of usage of online shopping and online food delivery
Last
during the situation.
1 minute to go. Last 1 minute to
Yes,
go.
sir. Yes, during this situation. As a conclusion, I'd like to say that undoubtedly online services have created a brighter future for our economy and daily lives. They have a lot of advantage, but at the same time, they have certain downfalls. So we need to use them only when necessary and never use them in excess. I would like to thank Bangalore University and the Indian Association for Science Fiction Studies for conducting this conference and giving us this opportunity. I would like to thank the Dean of Mount Carmel College, Mr. Ramesh, to give us this opportunity. I would like to thank Sahana ma'am to be a great guide and help us conduct this study. And I would also like to thank my teammates, Pritika Balaji and V. Yashaswani, for contributing towards this study and cooperating. Thank you so much.
Yeah, next paper presenter is again Sahana Prasad, K. Sneha, Sandra Girard, Sophia Parveen. The title of the topic is the impact on frequent teleportation for real-time learning experience among students. Over to Sneha or the group member.
Is my screen shared, sir?
Yeah. Please proceed.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Our research topic is the impact of frequent teleportation in future classrooms among students. I will be presenting it on behalf of my co-authors, Sahana Prasad ma'am, Sandra Gerard, and Sophia Parveen. The context of the study is about a possible world set in far future where advancements in science and technology has made it fundamentally different from ours in all such ways. One such difference is that teleportation has replaced the regular modes of transportation for all activities. Teleportation is used to refer to the process by which bodies and objects are transferred from one location to another without actually making the journey. The research question we are addressing is whether teleportation in future classrooms will be a boon or a bane. The objectives behind the study is to find out whether teleportation is actually seen as a tool helping students learn better, to find out if teleportation can become a replacement of regular modes of transportation and affect the mental and physical health, to find out students' perception about the concepts of teleportation in general. The research methodology we have undertaken is convenient sampling method. A questionnaire was distributed among a group of students of different age groups and educational backgrounds. Analysis. Majority of the respondents are undergraduate and graduate students around the age group of 15 to 20 years. According to the analysis of the data obtained, 60% of the respondents preferred to teleport if given an option, and the same was recorded in terms of the satisfaction of feelings towards the concept. This is the effect of constant cultural reiteration and emphasis of the concept in the minds of the people. It is further observed that the idea of traveling anywhere and anytime, as well as escaping traffic, has been the major driving force behind the respondents' preference to teleport. The further analysis of the data regarding the perception of students towards the idea of teleporting for field trips shows that an average of 3.55 of the respondents agree that it will be helpful in better understanding and developing critical reasoning skills. It is because respondents feel that traditional classroom lectures are monotonous and boring. Even with the majority of the respondents willing to teleport, 51% are neutral and undecided whether teleportation is completely better off than present modes. It is largely due to the perceived risk involved, no actual innovation, or simply because they like motor vehicles and enjoy the sensation of speed, scenic view, as suggested by 37% of the respondents who feel that traveling reduces stress. The possible mental and physical health impacts of such a development is neither completely dismissed nor agreed by larger section of the respondents. In our research, we have found out that as a consequence of laws of quantum physics, it is possible to obtain two particles and separate them in space so that they would continue to share their properties as two halves of a whole. This is currently being used in information teleportation, as stated by Xavier Yanis in his 2019 article, Teleportation is Here, but it's not what we expected. Teleportation is seen in the positive light among students. It is perceived as a tool which can help them travel frequently to places, giving access to environment, sources, which could improve their memory and reasoning skills. Teleportation is not taken as a replacement of present modes of transport, but rather as an easy exit to travel anywhere, anytime, faster, whenever needed. It may or may not affect the student's mental and physical health. It is seen as a possible boon in times of pandemic and natural disasters. Thus, teleportation can be a change for better future. Therefore, we would like to conclude from our research study that Students perceive frequent access to environment and places related to subjects as helpful in better understanding and memory. Further implementation of teleportation concept in learning places in future will enable the future classrooms to become a rich learning laboratories. Acknowledgement. I would wish to express my gratitude towards Bangalore University for conducting this conference. I would also like to thank Dr. Ramesh sir, the Dean of PG Department, Mount Carmel College, for giving us this opportunity. I would sincerely thank our research guide, Sahana Prasad ma'am, and other faculties in PG Department for their constant support. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my teammates, Sandra Gerard and Sophia Parmin, for their
Hello.
constant support.
All right, tell me. Okay. Right. Thank you, Sneha. Next paper presentation is Rajani Kurha. The topic of the candidate is the impact on fearless women in science fiction. The co-authors are Akanksha Thapa, Sanjana Bhoj, Roshini Chakrapani. Over to Rajani.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akanksha Thapa, student of Mount Carmel College. On behalf of my team and co-authors Sanjana Bhoj, Roshni Chakrapani, and our guide Rajni Koda ma'am, I will be presenting the paper Impact of Fearless Women on Science Fiction. What is science fiction? Science fiction is the genre of speculative fiction that typically deals with futuristic concepts like imaginative universe, advanced science and technology, travel, and extraterrestrial life. Our objective was to analyze the effect caused by women lead in science fiction on the society, to study the significance of portraying women as fearless in science fiction, to understand the demand for women lead in science fiction to create an impact on the society. Our methodology, we used primary and secondary data. Primary data consisting of all the respondents we got from our survey, and our secondary data being all the research articles and journal we went through. Our questions were based on a 5-point Likert scale. They were structured questionnaire which was circulated among women respondents. The tools used for analysis were t-test, ANOVA, and regression coefficient. Our sampling method was convenient random sampling method. Our respondent details, our sample size consisted of 75 women respondents from different age group living in metro city of India. Majority of our respondents were from the age of 20 to 30, and most of their education qualification was their undergraduate and postgraduate degree. Based on the study for our first objective, we used t-test to analyze the effect caused by women lead in science fiction. We used ANOVA to study the significance of portraying women as fearless in science fiction with the information on the age group and education qualification. We used regression model summary to understand the demand for women lead in science fiction. Our findings, majority of our respondents think that women lead as a fearless character can influence society in many ways. According to them, there has been a positive change in the thinking of society after an increase of female led in science fiction. Respondents also agreed to the fact that strong decision maker, good leadership, and being multitasker, being bold, being strong physically and emotionally are the best signs for a fearless woman in science fiction. They also believe that a new era is formed with women taking lead roles in science fiction. Majority of them also believe that female superheroes are the modern day equivalent of ancient mythology characters. Based on the t-test, we proved that there has been a positive increase after a positive increase in female lead roles in science fiction. Based on ANOVA, we also proved that among different age groups, it can be seen that there has been a significant difference in the opinion of portraying women as fearless in science fiction. And based on regression coefficient, we can see that women of science fiction do create a positive impact on the society. With every 1 unit of new science fiction, having women as lead role creates an impact of 0.356% impact of the society portraying women as fearless. Our conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that science fiction has evolved to an extent where the society is welcoming women in strong, fearless, and bold characters. There have been path-breaking milestones that are achieved in terms of women being cast for significant characters in this genre. Science fiction has also influenced women to be more independent, to follow their passion, and speak their mind. From the study, we would also like to suggest that the demand for women as a lead in science fiction has increased. Therefore, there should be more movies to be produced by famous studios. The door for opportunity for women should not be restricted, but should be kept wide open, not just in the area of acting, but in the other sectors of entertainment industry as well. Women characters must be given equal importance as male characters while creating science fiction content. And the characters designed for women should not be restricted to their traditional or feminine role, but must exceed to such perspective and accept.
Yeah, time is up.
Okay, thank you. And in the end, I would like to thank Bangalore University for organizing, Mount Carmel College, our respected Dean Ramesh sir, our respected guide Rajni Kola ma'am, and faculty members, and not the least, my co-authors Sanjana Bhuj and Roshni Chakapani for being supportive and doing the hard work. Thank you all.
Excellent. Next paper presenter is Yunita TN. The title of the topic is Engaging Millennial and General Z Workforce in the Post-Pandemic Future. Over to Vinutha.
Vinutha? Vinutha, you're there?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Vaishnavi Narendra is there?
Yes,
Vinutha,
sir, I'm here. I will present today. Yes.
Vinutha, yeah. Vinutha, please continue.
Sorry, sir, there was a connectivity issue. I've logged in through the mobile phone now. I will not be able to share the PPT, but I'll explain it, sir.
No, please tell. Speak for 3 minutes. That is enough.
Yes, sir. So I'm Vinutha from MES Institute of Management, working as an assistant professor. And I'm presenting a paper on engaging millennial and Gen Z workforce in the post-pandemic future. So as you all know, we are nearing the end of 2020 and seeing the encouraging light. With the pandemic is not yet under control, but we do have some promising news. So COVID-19 has radically shifted the way of life, how we work and all that. And mostly younger generations were hit by this because they had a lot of unemployment issues and all that. However, despite uncertain and discouraging conditions, the millennials and the Gen Zs have resolved to improve the world, and they want to build the economy, and businesses should definitely take a note from these young people and improve the way the businesses are done. So basically, millennials are the one who are born between 1981 to 1996, who have been greatly hit by Great Recession and COVID-19. And the Gen Z are the people who are born between 1997 and 2010, for whom the technology is always in their hands. They are true digital natives. The objective of my study is to understand the expectation of these two set of people in the new normal world, what they are expecting after they come back to offices, and to analyze how the team leaders have to analyze the way how this younger generation will be engaged in the post-pandemic future, expectation of these people, and how the employers are prepared to welcome these back. So as organizations become to recover and emerge, new challenges will be there. So this research is done based on a conceptual paper where I have collected the data from secondary, analyzed and interpreted in my own way. So to understand the expectation is, people expect to have new experiences and project-oriented tasks. They want a gig-oriented work and more diverse experiences. They want to have control over their professional future, and they want to have a flexible work environment. That is, they want an option to choose whether to work from home or from the office spaces or from a cafe. And the social impact is what they are worried about. I mean, they want to give something back to the society. So employers which provide them is what they impresses. And they want to have sensitivity in the workplace. Awareness of mental and emotional health is constantly increasing among these people. Going back to my objective 2, analyzing the way of leading the younger generation in the post-pandemic.
Last 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Vinutha, last 1 minute.
Yes,
Go to the
asking for
recommendations.
input on how to make the workplace more accommodating. So we need to get inputs from these people, and we have to show that the purpose is prioritized over profit, and we have to spotlight the employees' mental health and also address the climate change. So to conclude, we are at a pivotal point. The world is changing quickly for better or for the worse. Together, we have an opportunity to use this moment and a chance to reset and create a brighter world. The world that emerges from COVID-19 pandemic will definitely be more aligned and with the ideals of these millennials and Gen Zs. So young people have seen how quickly the environment has healed and how rapidly the businesses can adapt, how resourceful and cooperative people can be. So they know that post-pandemic society can be definitely better than the one that preceded it, and they are tenacious enough to make it a reality. Thanks to all the people who provided this opportunity, the BU and my fellow colleagues and Nirmala ma'am for providing me this opportunity. Thank you one and all.
Over to Vaishnavi Narendra, impact on FDI on a country's economic development.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Sir, I would like to share the PPT slides once again.
You have only 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yes. Once
to run through.
Okay. I don't know why I am not able to share the PPT slides.
It's okay. You talk about it.
Yeah. I will mail all the slides to the organizers. So first and foremost, this is Vaishnavi Narendra. I am currently serving as assistant professor at Presidency University, Bangalore, and I am also alumni of Bangalore University. And the title of the paper written by me is Impact of Foreign Direct Investment on a Country's Economy, a special case China. That is, this paper is an attempt to analyze the FDI position of China, that is pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, what was the position, and post-COVID, what is the position? And we all know that China is one of the largest attractor of FDI when it comes to Asia Pacific. And its GDP, shooted up to 10% in the recent trend. That was all-time high for a developing country to prosper in this genre. And my main pooling of data is from secondary resources, but they're all authenticated data published by World Bank, IMF, and OECD, and also some official websites of published by China. So when it comes to a foreign direct investment, how did China grow into such a big, huge investment hub is because of their policy. First and foremost, that is, they introduced a particular policy called Make in China, and they concentrated more on the information technology and the manufacturing technology. So what happened is they started liberalizing so much that all the profound players across the globe started investing there. And one more thing is their currency grew so strong. It also became one of the global reserve currency. And IMF granted that status in the year 2018. When all these things, for all the positive credentials were pulling up, they made the US to be very jealous because
What happened, Vaishnavi?
Hello. What happened?
So you can wind up, sir.
It should be some internet
Probably you
problem.
and Professor Sukanya and
thank you, Vaishnavi. Hearty congratulations to all the paper presenters. Your language was good. Your technical competency in evaluating the papers were good. Topics were latest. And thanks to Dr. Ramesh, he has produced almost all the papers of today's paper. Almost 5 papers came from his guidance. And
I was disconnected suddenly. Let me complete.
No. Yeah, some disturbance is there in your delivery. It's okay now. We leave it.
Okay,
thank you, Vaishnavi.
Yes, I thank you all the organizers of this conference.
Right.
I'm extremely grateful to Professor Dr. K. Ireshi and my Nirmala madam all as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I hand over the platform to Dr. Sukanya Hegde for her last remarks for 2 to 3 minutes. And later on, I will speak for 1 minute and I'll conclude this session. Over to Dr. Sukanya Hegde.
Thank you so much, sir.
Madam and sir can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no problem. Please, you're all expertise, so kindly share your knowledge. So let the participants learn something and then go out, sir. That's it. Please take at least 5-10 minutes. Madam, you also can take.
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, I would like to extend my hearty congratulations to the entire team, Nirmala ma'am, Cynthia ma'am, and the department for having arranged such a wonderful session, because I was under the impression that it is a science fiction. So what is that we're going to do in this? But then it is tremendously, I can say, a great success. With all the efforts, I think you all have done a great job, ma'am. Hearty congratulations once again. Because we last 3 days we have been experiencing such wonderful speakers, and then the best part about the whole program is the sessions what we have selected. The topics are so very apt for today's requirement. Every speaker, may it be on share market, or it may be digital marketing, or it may be the new initiatives in online solutions in education. So every such topic which was selected on banking and taxation especially. So all these were wonderful sessions and very, very knowledgeable for all of us. In fact, we being teachers hardly get the time and chance to attend such programs. But maybe thanks to Corona, that we were quite at our place, sitting and watching and listening to all these scholarly people. And I must say that we have enhanced our knowledge in whole process by listening to such scholarly people, especially Professor Vaidyanathan yesterday. In fact, he delivered such a practical insight about the entire, the education system today. And this all is eye-opener for us. And then the paper presenters also, yesterday also I had an opportunity to listen to all the paper presenters, and they have done a wonderful job. Only thing is I could see more of women researchers, because that was one of the empowerment almost every presenter was from our thing.
Madam, we had received 40 papers. So
Okay.
yesterday I had fixed 25 and today 15. And in fact, most of the men withdrew. They said, "Madam, we are busy. So we want." I said, "Fine, I'll give certificates, no problem." But most of the women were very, very enthusiastic to present it.
Yes, I know.
That is what I could gauge
in fact,
from
very
this.
good in terms of. Yes. I was just wondering, because and it was a good point, ma'am. Like, students also have taken initiative to present the papers.
Yes.
So that's one wonderful thing, because we want today's students to take initiative and to get into it. And even the research methodology what they have used definitely are quite quality. I must appreciate the efforts they have taken in terms of presenting and plus using the primary and secondary data. So all in all, I must say that the whole concern about today's education, like Professor Iresh also was telling the same thing, that the employability and today the kind of salaries what our commerce or management fraternity is getting is definitely not at the mark. It's not at the par what we really deserve. So there where the competency building, and of course we need to really go along with the changing scenario today. Whatever changes are happening, not just because of the COVID or something. As it is, it was well accepted that digitalization of may it be banking or may it be education, everything is getting into a mode wherein we need to really change to the change. If we don't change to the change, then change will change us to the worst. That's what has been said. And wherein I think we have to update ourselves, upgrade ourselves, and become more tech savvy. Because this is something which is going to be in thing in days to come. And as it is, we are talking about AI and the virtual learning. All this is happening. Robotics is happening. We are talking about the most of the virtual teaching and digitalizing the entire system. And these 3 days have definitely given us an insight. Yes, online also such international conference can be done. And the best part is we could get a Nobel laureate to speak to us. Probably it was midnight for him, 3 o'clock in his place, and we were here at 2 o'clock listening to him. And it was like, I felt such a wonderful intellectual, interaction wherein others would have never had the chance and opportunity to listen to somebody who has won Nobel Prize as such. So this is all I feel is has become possible because of this, digitalization and the thanks to the whole technology. And I must really thank the initiative taken by our university. Today we feel so proud that Bangalore University could host such a wonderful 3 days international seminar wherein best of the best people came. Most of them are from IIM, IIT, and the institutions of repute. And this is something which is wonderful. I would like to thank once again the entire team, which has taken such a great efforts and have made this possible with all the glitches, all the internet problems, all so many things. I understand yesterday Nirmala ma'am was all in tension when some sharing is not happening, screen is not getting shared, muting, unmuting, everything. But in spite of all that, yes, we have overcome all those hurdles and ensure that every aspect is taken care and every speaker is given the importance what they had to get to speak about the subjects. And I think even the participants have gained a lot, including myself. And I must say thank Satprasad sir, who carried out that entire paper presentation so beautifully with keeping the knock on the timing. So never he allowed anybody to speak more than 4 minutes. That is something which is a time management which he has shown. I also would like to thank Cynthia ma'am, Sarvamangala ma'am, because I think all these efforts are the teamwork which has made us to come to this particular stage of this particular seminar. So once again, Nirmala ma'am, congratulations. And I'm sure that you are so tired of 3 days. Yesterday when I spoke to her, 7 o'clock, she was in metro. And she's telling, I'm just trying to reach out to my house. So that's something like, the commitment and conviction and dedication towards the education. And I think all of us have to really together how to do something for this particular our department, our university, and ensure that we really reach the heights. So thank you once again. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sukanya Hegde, madam. You spoke very nicely.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was an excellent final remarks on the last day. Only when a few people takes the strain and pain, others will enjoy the whole benefit. When Dr. Nirmala and Cynthia madam and Sarvamanga madam, Department of Commerce and Management, took a lot of strain for so many days and months, benefit has gone to the more than 300 to 400 teachers in the entire teaching fraternity of the country. So
around 400 viewed YouTube, sir.
Yeah, 400 YouTube. So
and
almost
here around 200.
More than 600 to 700 teachers have come to know their level of knowledge and what exactly they have to learn for their classrooms. That's a great way of communicating to the teaching fraternity by the Bangalore University Commerce and Management Department to know about the knowledge what is required today to meet the challenges. Anyway, hearty congratulations even from my side to the entire team headed by Dr. Venugopal, the Vice Chancellor, Registrar, and the Department of Commerce and Management. And a very wonderful knowledge what we have got today out of this 3 days conference, when so many people spoke about different type of topics. The gap between industry and academia is increasing like anything. After the introduction of technology and the computer skills and the soft skill, it is enormously increasing. It is practically difficult for all of us, that too a mass education, a traditional education, where the university system is there. It is impossible to bring all such relevant market changes into the classroom because of our bureaucratic approach and administrative hurdles. But learning should be made continuous and nobody can stop learning. You see, in the corona pandemic, how beautifully we have reached together and taken the subject of challenges and gave way to the learning of various types of activities that are very essential for all of us. Because the speed of the development in the market and the economy and the politics, everything is very, very, very high. And what we are delivering in the classroom is bookish, and it is a large gap. It is very difficult for us to develop the curriculum, develop the study material, develop the research activities, and training the teachers, developing the infrastructure at the college during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, technological infrastructure, computer infrastructure, software infrastructure. Even in 2020, under the existing financial capability of the parents and the students to the system, it is very difficult. And evaluation system and all this cooperation from industry also should come forward. See, industries are making so much profit out of the total population what the God has gifted. Now they have to focus on education. education and pumping the money under the corporate governance, give enormous certification courses, give enormous support to the colleges in terms of technology, give honest training to our teachers, principals, and academicians, so that they should be learned. Only when the teachers are learned, only when the teachers are knowledgeable, only when the teachers have become the asset, that will be percolated to the coming generation, and the students community will become the real asset to the society. We need to cope up with the development by these type of lectures. That is the reason why I congratulate even the Commerce and Management Department. You have brought us so many types of latest development, what is happening in the world, what is happening in Asia, what is happening in China, what is happening in India, in Karnataka, in Bangalore. Not only in the academic line, but in the technology and in the software areas. And the seminars and workshops of this type will reduce the gap between the industry and academia. Many research projects should be encouraged at the college level, at the university level, and so that the latest topics can be taken in addition to the regular syllabus what we cover. These conferences must be made compulsory to all the colleges and universities, so that all the teaching fraternity will improve their academic knowledge in the days to come. Develop the skill sets. New education policy has substantially focused on the conceptual clarity, understanding the skills. Only the thing is, all the ideas what is there in the new education policy should percolate to the ground level. The reality should be implementable. All the ideas should be converted into the reality. If that is going to happen in the days to come, definitely the future of the education system will be fantastic. And you have to encourage the internet learning. In addition to the syllabus, lot of internet learning, certificate courses, free coaching, MOOC, Swayam, all these types of facilities are known to us as a teacher, as a director, as a principal. That should be made known to the students community at large. Now today, the paper presenters, for 6 paper presenters, so beautifully they made their presentation. 3 + 1 minute I have given. In 3 + 1 minute, they have effectively presented what they have done in the research. That is the competency level of today's research scholars and today's students community. They are more intelligent than us. Therefore, they should be given top priority to give the information about what are all the things, what is happening in the world. They have the mobile, they have the internet, they have YouTube, they have Google, they have Twitter, they have everything which is made available by the God to them. We have to give direction to them. We have to inspire them. We have to navigate them. We have to mentor them. If we do this job very honestly, they inculcate the habit of learning, change is not at all a problem. The problem of all of us is infrastructure at the college level, and the habit of learning, and changing the attitude of the teachers, changing the attitude of the management, changing the attitude of the traditional people to the modern technology. In today's scenario, personally, officially, economically, professionally, industrially, agriculturally, economically, bureaucratically, judicially, in the finance and banking area also, technology is overruling all of us. You might say it is a very bad trend, but we can't say it is a bad trend. We have to swim in the ocean. We have to go with the technology. Whatever the risk factors that are there in the technology, we have to fight it out. We have to bring the governance into it. We have to develop the law. We have to punish the people who are misusing the technology. But technology is going to be the order of the day. So everybody should practice of using the technology at all levels. And to conclude, change is permanent. The measure of intelligence can be tested with the ability of change. How much ability that you have to change, that is your intelligence here. Change needs a positive attitude. Change always determines the attitude of the person, and the person who is going to accept the change will give the positive attitude. Focus on investing all your energy to manage the change. One should develop the feeling of fear of change. We should be afraid of change. We should be afraid of future. We should be afraid of technology. We should be afraid of our fortunes. We should be afraid of our future life, future health. Then only we will learn. Then only we will develop our individual skills, individual knowledge, individual capability, individual personality. So we should get the fear of change. Progress is impossible without change. Convert the change into opportunity. Repeat again, convert the change into opportunity. See to it, no COVID, no corona, no plague, no diseases of this kind can stop learning. And learning is the only way to bring the change, and learning is the only way to manage the change, and learning is the only way to rule the change and to become most competitive person in the world. With the past technology, with the past knowledge, with the past graduation certificate, with the past degree certificate, we cannot manage the future. Future is challenging. For that purpose, we need to learn every day, every hour, every second, and every day of walks of life we have to learn. Anyway, thanks for the opportunity what Madam has given to me, and I feel that I have done justice to your call. Sincerely, once again, before I concluding my concluding remarks, God bless all of you who have struggled very hard to organize this conference, and God give more strength and courage to move forward in the days to come. God bless everyone. Thank you. Over to Dr. Nirmala.
Thank you very much for this very, what do you say, energetic talk, I should say. Very energetic talk that you gave us. And in fact, frankly speaking, only just we had 1 week time when our VC gave me he called me and told to take over this conference. It was just 1 week. I was little shaken up because in 1 week to organize and then to bring all these people from top B schools, it's not easy and corporates. But fortunately, since I know them very well from almost 2 decades, when I gave an invitation, they all accepted. In fact, I had many more acceptance from all this top and outside university, but I had to restrict because of the sessions that we got it. So myself and Cynthia shared the sessions and we got it. And in fact, I'm very happy they all accepted. Along with that, when I asked all the professors to associate and then take over certain sessions, I think none of them refused. In fact, they were so thrilled and excited, and they said, we'll associate and work towards it. And all of them accepted this and then associated, and then extremely very well managed with time, and then with the speakers we worked on. And finally, I'm very happy. In fact, as Professor Sukanya was telling, definitely, I 4 days, I have not slept. I said, this has to go on in time because we have invited, I have to keep up a time and I have to just work on and then move the journey of this conference. And I'm sure with all your blessings and support and we have worked. I think only thing is that I was little unhappy. It has to reach more people. So we were able to reach only 400 people. I was quite unhappy about it. I'm sure, I think next time when we do something, probably I think we should do something to reach more people. More people, when I mean to say students should get reached, because all the speakers, when they spoke about a vision of another 20 years. What's going to happen in another 20 years, 10 years. So these are the students who have to be tapped with this kind of information, and then they have to learn it. Anyway, I think probably next time all of us will work together. I think if all of us can work together, I'm sure, I think we can reach thousands and thousands and lakhs of people in this country. It is not that impossible because we have now virtual, and it's only you have to sit wherever you are there and you have to get the information. So, and in fact, Professor Irisi sir, yesterday night, I was just thinking, will I really at this age, when I become 70 or 80, will I really sit like this for almost 10 hours and then attend conferences or learn something? I am doubting myself, but that's a greatness of Professor Irisi, who, I mean, somehow he wanted to learn every time. He gets associated and he gives a lot of inspiration for all of us. And that's a strength that I think we all have, we get it and then we try to execute in the universities. I think I should thank and then pronounce to our Professor Irisi sir if he's there.
Thank you, Nirmala. Thank you very much.
Sir is there.
Thank you very much. I have enjoyed everyone, every word of every speaker, and all of you.
Yes,
Professor Satyaprasad, Sukanya, and yourself. So many. The other, Vasantavalli in the morning session. It's nice to see all of you.
Yes, sir.
It's good that, as you're all mentioning, there is no end for knowledge.
Yes.
Isn't it?
True, sir.
So we are totally lifelong. We are only learners.
Yes.
The day we think that we know everything, that is the end of it.
Yes, yes.
That is the end of it. I will tell you. We
So
should
frankly
quit.
speaking,
We
I
should
was
better
very,
quit and should not be there. Huh?
I was
Thank
very
you. All the
restless
best.
because
Congratulations, hearty congratulations for a wonderful program. I look forward for associating
definitely,
in
sir.
whatever capacity next time. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. We need your guidance. In fact, I was very
Always.
restless because I
Always.
had a gap of not knowing.
Any academic program.
Yes.
If you feel that I am still able to contribute, fine. I'll be able
What
to
feels, sir?
associate.
You should be there, sir. When you're there, I get a lot of energy. That's what I was telling even to Dr. Satyaprasad yesterday. I get a lot of energy when sir is there. So I think, in fact, I was very restless because of 2 years and 3 years. Not much of information I could gather because of certain things, but I was extremely happy to, enrich my knowledge, because many things I was not able to get it. And in fact, all the speakers gave the information which really enriched me. I'm sure, I think we'll organize together, and with your all support, I think commerce should scale up to one of the top department in the world. That's the aim and desire. I think all the professors, in fact, Professor Iresi also had the desire, and he also worked towards it, and we all followed him. I think even we also following got the desire. So we will strive for it, and let's see whether we can reach that goal, sir, and the vision. Anyway, thank you very much, sir, for all of you for associating. I thank Professor Gurmurthy, Dr. Narendra, then Professor Jairam, Professor Vasantavalli, and Narendra sir, and then all of them who associated and then conducted, Professor Bhavani, Dr. Sukanya Hegde, and Dr. Satyaprasad, who associated and gave this program a special, Dr. Karnaka Reddy, a special touch to the program, and then quality to the conference. Hope we associate more and more times, and bring more and more resource people, especially the industry people, and then we can have an interface of academia and industry. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining and then making it a wonderful program. Thank you. Thank you, madam. And thank you, sir, Professor Iresi, and all the participants. Without participants, we are not able to do anything.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll call you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. With your grandchildren, grandson. Nice, sir. To see us become very tall, your grandson. Thank you, sir. Can we leave now, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, madam. Sukanya, madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Sure, sure.
Yeah, bye-bye.
We will have more interactions and assignments like this. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Then. ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಕ್ಕೆ.